Good evening, and welcome to tonight's episode of Arcane Adventures. As always, before we jump into tonight's episode, we do have a few session announcements to get through. The first being your weekly reminder that we have quiz questions available every Tuesday and Friday. They are posted under the post section of our YouTube channel at arcane_adventures. In conjunction with that, we also release shorts every Tuesday and Friday, highlighting some of the most iconic moments from our session episodes so you can get your laughs in every day on the internet. And if you need a recap, the Chapter 6 recap is available right now on our channel. So this is Chapter 7. If you want to catch up with all the events from the last 9 episodes of Chapter 6, then you can watch that recap. It's about 20 or 30 minutes long, and then you can continue with us here in our story here in Chapter 7. That is all of our session announcements, though, so let's jump into tonight's episode of Arcane Adventures. And welcome back. Last we left off, Lorem Ipsum scattered across the Pajakine Desert. Well, the Pajak Desert and surrounding area of the city of Pajakine, I should say. A group of three, that being Sizik, Altrix, and Mox, scattered amidst the dunes to the north of the city, while Rancor and Paloma and an unconscious landed in the oasis to the southwest of Pajakine, and Pura and Evadin landing within the city of Pajakine itself. But none of our three groups had any sight, and still to this very moment do not have any sight on Adam Denorum current whereabouts. But after a lengthy day of being separated from their companions and a plethora of events, they finally reconvened that evening in the city of Pajakine, within the Nightlight Spire, which stands overlooking the core souk of the city, that being the central marketplace and its oasis, next to the Sultan's Palace, the leader of the country of Eprajan, of which Pajakine is the capital. And after going to the skyport here in Pajakine, known as Zakaran Reach, we met with the harbor masters, the port masters of the skyport, only to learn that the airship that departed here some 35 to 40 days ago, they have no record of. At least you don't have any clearance to get records if they did have them. And a little defeated, having to go through a more bureaucratic process, Lorem Ipsum has instead found themselves meeting with a uncanny figure, a man that goes by Talzir Ralbrin, a Khajiit tiger folk, who emerged from the shadows and offered us some information, secret perhaps, that he held, in exchange for a high price of gold. And after paying 2 installments price, he did reveal some information we did not previously have, clarifying information that we did have, and ultimately linking whatever Paloma's mother and Sizik's mother is tied to, all the way back to Oshiavester, a correspondent in the Twins, and now also Project Akadine and Daikia, which to us is Altrix's mother. But unsure of what connection that might actually be, and Talzir making a hastened exit, all of you are now emerging from the skyport, the Zakaran Reach here in Pajakine. It's early morning, maybe 10 a.m. or so. And that is where I'll welcome all of you to Chapter 7, Episode 3, Silk, Sand, and Strategy. Lorem Ipsum, you are all exiting the Zakaran Reach. Where do we find you?
I have a question before we
Sure.
do anything else.
Sure.
What happened to make Owunul unconscious, and is he still unconscious?
Yes, he almost drowned, and Owunul is not with the group, so Owunul knows none of this information.
Owunul is in a cart outside the inn that we
The
stayed
Nightlight
at.
Spire.
So basically, I get to just be myself then, and just pretend like I know nothing.
Yeah.
Yes.
Cool.
We set you up perfect.
Amazing. 10 out of 10. 10 out of 10.
Yes, so everyone except, I should specify, everyone except for Owunul is present here.
Me.
Don't worry. The information you have is all you need.
If I don't have that.
Exactly.
Anyway, so all of you that are here, minus Owunul,
the guy who ripped this off, Talzir, he said that Paloma's mom was seen like a day or so ago.
Both of them.
Paloma
We-
and Sizik's mothers.
We
They
need
were
to find
seen-
them.
They were seen a couple days ago, or like
Yeah, that's a few days ago.
Yeah. We should probably try and find them. See what exactly they know.
well, problem is how are we going to find them? We are in a large city that we barely know, and they could be anywhere, assuming they're still here.
Paloma, do you know where you need to go?
No.
You're muted.
Anna, you're
I
muted.
am. No, I do not. The funny bit is, OBS could hear me, but y'all could not.
That's hilarious.
No, I got no clue. I've been here once, and it was like a decade ago. More than that, actually. It was like 15 years.
Look,
No, less than that. Hold on. Doesn't matter. I don't know this fucking city.
What is this the city where your mom lived, or is it
No. We live. Hold on, I wrote it down. We live a week away from here. I didn't write down the distance. I wrote down the time.
240
That's
miles or so.
hilarious.
About 240 miles.
we want to head that way then, because that's might be where they are?
No, but you said
Yes,
they were
evident.
seen here in the town like a few days ago.
And just randomly marching out into the desert is not the smartest idea.
at least not without equipment.
Paloma,
Maybe we could do a little bit of investigating around at some inns.
Paloma, really a strange question, and guarantee I already know the answer. You wouldn't happen to have like a feather from your mother?
No.
Okay.
Looking around, are there a bunch of like
I-
other?
Mason, at what point does an item become yours? Like, if you are given a gift, how long do you have to own that gift before magic considers it your item?
That's
Um,
hilarious.
Probably immediately if it's a gift.
Immediately the
Immediately?
moment you receive
Okay,
the
then
gift, it
never
is
mind.
yours. Owens, you were saying.
Like just looking around, are there like a bunch of like Aarakocras and Herringons just out and about?
Not nearly like what you saw in Straxorus. You do see a few Aarakocras, though none look like Paloma.
There
Seem more
were
to be
none in Straxorus.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a fair point.
yeah. That's a fair point. Actually, there are a few in Straxorus, but not very many. But no, hardly any Herringons and hardly any Aarakocra. But you do see a few mixed in with the population, but not very many.
Okay.
I was gonna ask
Well,
Paloma if her mother looks just like her, but I don't know what
but
Paloma looks like.
like a
So
little bit taller. And not even that
Have-
much. Maybe I don't know. I haven't seen her in a while.
has the party ever seen any other Rhea Kokras?
no.
Three of a kind, baby.
All right. Well, suppose we could again just start looking around, see what locations, if they were to leave town, they might need to stock up on supplies or.
At least they'd be easy to describe.
Tells you
Yeah.
didn't say where they were seen, just that they saw them.
That is correct.
I mean,
I doubt it, but is he within 120 feet of me?
No.
Damn it.
Well, when in
The-
doubt, we could always just ask around.
yeah.
Well, we don't want to be too obvious because I feel like if they're here on important business and word gets around that a bunch of random people are searching for them, that
I
will
mean-
raise suspicion.
Not unless we are looking to return a lost child to their parent.
Is that the story we're going with?
How
Well,
believable would
do you
that
want to
be?
just out the fact that we're searching for potential?
Criminals?
smugglers?
No, you're right. Okay.
I feel like people will be more fixing to help us. You know, I feel like most folks in here are not in on it, so to speak, and are just kind of wary as of nature. But I feel like with, having you and Sizik, that might make people a little more given to help.
Yeah.
Well, if that's the plan, then I think, Paloma, you need to act a little more lost and childish.
I think we have Sizik for that.
Yeah.
The gods have told me no, we're not doing that. So
I think
I
maybe
retract
we
my
should go
statement.
with Cole as the lost child. I think it's a little easier.
Perhaps.
Or Sizik.
Yeah. I mean, Sizik definitely fits the bill, I feel like.
So where do we check first? Inns or supply stores or Evadin? You can track down like a shady criminal place, right?
I could try.
I mean, we could split up if that's what we want to do.
Are you saying we should split the party, Altrix?
Party's already split. It's too late for that.
Oh, no, it's not.
Owunul's still in the cart.
Again, honk shmee.
Yep, I got it.
All right.
Well,
Definitely
I feel like the
taverns
central
are gonna be our
market
best
would
start.
probably be the biggest, probably most populated area to start with.
Okay.
Do we want to split up or no?
Well,
If we do, we gotta have a place to meet up because this is a big city.
I mean, we have
We
the
have the inn,
inn.
so we gotta have a time.
Our
Maybe-
crystals have been recharged.
What time? Yeah, what
Um,
time of day is it?
It's about 10 a.m.
Okay.
You should
The
consult
crystals
the
recharged?
orb.
No.
Yes, the chatter crystals have been recharged. That is correct.
All right.
Would y'all say
Um,
like 4 hours, 4 or 5 hours searching
Okay.
and return back to the inn?
We definitely should not be alone. We definitely should group up a little bit, I think.
Yeah. Okay.
Speaking of grouping up, it is about this time that all of you notice that Pura is gone.
Oh, again.
Great. Okay.
I'm not surprised. I kind of just expected it at this point.
Well-
he has a crystal too.
Yeah. He'll let us know if he's in trouble.
Does Owunul have a crystal? I don't think he
Yes,
does.
He does.
He does.
Okay,
Everyone
okay.
but Sizik.
We still
Alright.
don't have
So basically, what I'm saying is gonna happen is like in a few hours, Owunul's gonna be like, "Huh, what?" And the chatter crystal goes off, and that's the only way he's gonna be able to wake up.
Okay.
It's
Sure.
funny.
I can. All right. If Evadin, you want to lead the charge on trying to scout out any information markets there may be. Rancor, if you want to check out the regular market, so to speak. I can maybe scout out the perimeter of the town, see if there's any folks who you maybe saw them come in or saw them leave if they took off.
Unfortunately, I don't think I will be the best in identifying
Well,
persons related to Sizik or Paloma.
I'm just saying those are the three groups, and then Sizik, Paloma can kind of hop into. Maybe Rancor, you take Sizik and Paloma, and I don't know, maybe I'll just go get Owunul.
Okay.
Well, why can't Rancor go get Owunul?
Do you think Owunul should be in the middle of the market?
I don't see why not. He's obvious. He's big and obvious, and what we're trying to be is obvious.
Well,
My time to shine has come. Finally.
I suppose.
I wouldn't say obvious, because we don't want it to be obvious that we're trying to find them in
Yeah.
a suspicious way. I don't know.
Look, in any case, I feel like we have sort of 3 good ideas on where to start looking.
How about if we split up, me and Sizik, that gives you two people. Like if Sizik goes with you, Altrix, and I'll go by myself with Rancor, then you both have. We have 2 groups who can say, "Hey, we're looking for their mom."
That's a
And
better idea.
you're good with that?
Sizik can go with you, Altrix.
All right. On our way out to the
As long as
perimeter,
that's
we'll
okay
grab.
with Sizik. He's been awfully quiet.
I get.
He's like half asleep, like slumped over your shoulders.
Oh, he still
Forgot. He still has a point of exhaustion. That's my bad.
2.
2?
Two.
Oh my god, dude.
Yeah, he picked up 3. It was bad.
Sizik almost died.
All right. Yeah, I'll take Sizik. I'll have Owunul carry him. All
That sounds perfect.
right.
Okay. So just for my clarification, can somebody tell me what the plan is?
Altrix, Sizik are gonna go grab Owunul and then go kind of like around the perimeter of town to where I don't know if not stables per se, but I don't know if camels or these the sand dolphins or whatever are there for rent.
Yep.
However people travel between the city and other places. See if people have seen coming in, going out, talk to people about that. Rancor, Paloma going to Central Market to just ask around. And Evadin, like we pitched the idea of them like trying to find some criminal stuff, but they've not fully confirmed anything.
I mean, I guess I was kind of like I think maybe I'll go with like the market group to start off with, and then split off from there as I kind of look around.
Okay.
I think would be good
Okay.
to start like as I can.
Okay, so 2 groups of 3 works for me. All right.
Mainly
Altrix
because
and
also I
Sizik.
don't think it's good for me to go on my own to like
Sure.
criminal
Totally fine.
wars.
No, that's totally
Dies.
fine. Yeah, Evadin dies. Altrix and Sizik, you return to the Nightlight Spire, where you find Owunul, who is honk-shoeing away in the cart that Paloma brought him in.
I'll have
it is-
you know I'm honk shmee-me-meing.
No, you're honk-shoeing, and you're gonna deal with it. Anyway, he is kind of slumped over, kind of laying and sprawled out. Oh god.
I'll just kind of look him over. Just
I tried
pull
to
out
method
giant
act.
needle, jab it into him, I just shoot him up with adrenaline to wake him
Okay.
up.
Still takes me a whole
Straight
minute.
up epinephrine.
Yeah.
Where did you get that much epinephrine?
Man,
Don't
Cure
worry about
Wounds
it.
is a hell of a spell.
He extracted it from a bunch of people's brains. Where do you think?
Yeah,
That's not
what
where
I did.
epinephrine comes from, but okay. It comes from the kidney, but that's all right.
No, it comes from, we all know it comes from the balls.
I mean, actually, it comes from the adrenal gland, but whatever. Anyway,
What the-
okay. Owunul, you are abruptly awoken. Yep. And Sizik and Altrix are right there. You don't know where you are. You've never seen this place before. The scorching desert light of Anaris is just beaming down, just
He
cooking
has a
you.
sunburn.
Yeah, you've just been slowly roasting in the light of Anaris for the morning.
I immediately go into fight or flight because you just shot me off with adrenaline.
Sure.
So, given that I'm in an unfamiliar place, I'm gonna panic a little bit and, like, I don't know, hit the cart I'm in or whatever.
Sure. Can you make a dexterity saving throw for me?
Oh no. This is going down the hill, ain't it?
Surprisingly, that's not that bad. That's a dex save?
Yes.
25.
Damn.
25. Okay.
I rolled a
you-
19.
You quickly get your bearings and calm down a little bit.
Okay, hey, how's How the fuck did I get here?
Teleportation worked great, man. You were just real tuckered out afterward. Here, hold this, and I'm just gonna hand Sizik over.
Oh, okay.
Yes, Adam Sizik.
Okay, I'll put him over my shoulder, I guess.
All right, come with me. We got work to do.
All right, sure.
This is like just turned into a plush doll at this point.
Yeah, just straight up.
Oh no, Rancor! I've become a marketable plushie. Oh no.
Well,
Yeah, pretty much. I'll just follow him. I'll follow Altrix around to wherever he wants us to go.
Yeah, go ahead. Add 1 Sizik to your inventory.
It's an uncommon item.
It's a. Come on, it's rare. Come on.
legendary.
This man was
Okay.
named with a number.
No. Anyway, the three of you, Sizik, Altrix, Owunul, you begin wandering around the kind of outer rim of Pashakin. It is a walled city, but the walls... You're not quite sure what the walls actually do, if they're supposed to be defensible or not, as the city already kind of sits up almost on a plateau, and in various parts of the desert dunes, kind of on a large jutting rock. And who would come storming in the desert? You don't know. But you kind of wander around, and every so often there's this giant gate in the middle of the wall. And of course, it's open right now. But as you kind of collect terminology and the local lingo, you learn that these are individually called sand gates that access various portions of the city. There's one that is notably kind of branches out to the northeast of here. Altrix and Sizik, you recognize that from kind of where Zaris deposited you yesterday. Kind of where you entered the city. There's one to the southwest of here, kind of where Paloma and Rancor came in, also close to the Zakaran Reach. And then there's also one towards the east, kind of where the eastern Sandflow slope is, where Zaris told you he hangs out. More really to the southeast, but still to the east side. So 3 major gates to the city, and then various smaller gates kind of mixed in. Starting at the north and kind of working your way around. I'll just kind of list off some places that you find, describe the setting for you, and then you can tell me if you want to double back to any of those to ask questions. The first place you start, though, is the Wind Gardens. You recall from the night prior that very distinct desert music kind of filling the air of Pashakin, and it seems that these are giant metal pipes that slowly kind of sway with the desert wind, and as wind blows through them at certain velocities and angles, you get these low hums and chimes. And then, of course, the eastern Sandflow slope. It is a not quite a sand cascade like a waterfall would be, but a very steep incline where sand kind of drapes its way over the edge of that plateau and down to the dunes below. And you see a variety of sand dolphins and their accompanied sand surfers that are surfing amongst this, kind of catching the dunes, catching the waves as they kind of almost ski or sled down the sand. As you get more to the southwestern side of town, you once again find yourself at the Zakaran Reach, that it being the skyport, various airships taking off and then arriving. And also a building that you vaguely remember seeing when you were here the first time, but a little bit taller than the Zakaran Reach itself, is the Skyrise Guild. It seems to be a academy of some kind, or a guild that is entirely designed off of airships, the training of pilots for airships.
Ooh.
All in all, you've been following what they call the Silk Ring, which is a group of housing districts and also a group of textile factories that kind of make a ring around the city, along with the outer walls. And then various taverns that you can kind of spot on your way through. There's the Sand Dolphins Dock over at the eastern Sandflow slope. There's also, on the northeastern area, the Caravan's Keep, another tavern. And then, make sure I'm not missing anything. Oh, yes. You also, on the northeastern side, find a set of very large towers, not nearly like the Nightlight Spire that you were at for the evening, or the Sultan's Palace for that matter, but towers that seem to be overlooking the desert dunes. And then next to that is what none of you have ever seen a train station before, but that's what it would look like. Some kind of station that's being built into the side of the outer wall. And there's tracks that are being laid and slowly constructed, but it seems in its early stages of construction. Does not seem like it is fully operational or anywhere close to that. But that's kind of on your journey around the city. That's kind of what you noted. So.
Are there rails like on top of the wall? Are they built into like the side of the wall, or are they just like regular like railroad tracks like on the ground?
Yeah, it seems to be 3 rails instead of your traditional 2. 3 rails on the ground. They seem to come up, kind of go into the station, and then go back down out the other side. Seems to cut across the desert, but you can see the construction hasn't really made it to the bottom of the slopes yet, so it hasn't actually gotten into the desert.
Oh, that's pretty cool. Trains.
That's weird. Probably won't catch on.
Yeah, no chance for real. Like
Yeah.
who would make a what is that? Are they gonna like put
Why
something
would you
on
use a
those
train
rails?
when you could just walk?
Or teleport or take a skyship? Like there's a million other
Alright.
ways to do it. Like why are we gonna okay.
So, I guess kind of like going around those entrances, you mentioned like the Sand Dolphin,
Sand
stables.
docks. Yeah.
docks. Yeah. Again, just stopping in there to see if, they've seen anyone matching Sizik's description.
Sure. Go ahead and give me a general perception check.
General perception check.
Yeah. Good old
Aren't we
perception.
asking people if they've seen Sizik though?
Well,
Yeah, this is more of your initial lay of the land.
Oh, okay.
oh,
Before we get to
17.
investigation. 17. Okay. Definitely a busy place at all out.
Oh god.
Sand surfers. A lot of people like Zaris, who seem to be practicing their sand surfing on their back of their sand dolphins. As you enter, seems to be a sand dolphin that is kind of doing tricks out in the front of the building, which is kind of mounted to the side of the cliff where the sand slope actually begins. So it's kind of jutting out over, seems to be on rickety wooden scaffolding. But as you kind of peruse the area, you don't get a feel of anyone in this area particularly knowing Sizik's mother or Paloma's mother for that fact. But if you'd like to investigate further, you certainly can.
I mean, if there's like anyone like in charge here, but who would
Sure.
be here, 9 to 5 each day.
Yes.
Again, just in case they saw someone coming in or out.
Sure. Okay. You walk. This is a tavern. It's also an inn, but mostly. Walk up to a Khajiit. Does not look anything like Talzir though. Introduces himself by the name Bozik. And what can I get for you folks?
Actually, nothing right now. We were just wondering if you've seen any Harrigans come through, particularly anyone looking like this fella here, looking for his ma.
Interesting. Okay. Let's see. I get a lot of customers, so. No, I don't have a vague recollection. I'm sorry.
Aw.
Well,
Worth a shot.
appreciate your time.
Of course. You folks are looking for a sand dolphin, or you just looking for a person?
Just looking for the person.
Yep, just the
All right.
person.
Well, if you ever need a sand dolphin or to practice on the slopes, just come back. Bozik's gotcha.
All right,
All right.
Bozik, you have a nice day now.
Guess I'll
Where do
just
we-
head out of here. Honestly, the next two places I would check out. No, I am pitching this to Owunul. Would be either the Wind Gardens or the Skyrise Guild first.
Okay. What
Wind
are
Gardens sounds like that might be just a common gathering place.
I mean, someone might have seen him there, but it's a kind of a long shot. The guild might actually keep records of who they talk to, so it may be more worth talking to them.
I say we hit Wind Gardens first, and then Skyrise Guild, as that might take a bit more of our time.
Right. If it's anything like any of the other public organizations
Yes.
that we've been to, there will be a line.
My hope is that perhaps within the Skyrise Guild, there's someone who is associated with this group.
Right.
You know, if they had goals with an airship.
Right. Then someone might know something.
Yeah.
Yeah. That sounds like a good idea. Let's do that.
Right.
Okay.
Uh,
As you kind of venture through the Wind Garden, again, just various kind of steps and various towers with metal pipes affixed to them that kind of just move slowly in the wind. Again, during the day, it seems that they aren't, for whatever reason, as active. For some natural occurring phenomenon, the sound only seems to be very prevalent at night, but you're not quite sure why that is. But even during the day, though, there are still people kind of here. It is, like Altrix assumed, a place of kind of general gathering. And so, as you kind of make your way through, the two of you can give me investigation checks.
The two of us.
Yes. And Sizik can help too if he is. Although he went to go grab dinner. So.
Yeah, Sizik. I noticed how he has.
Sizik has gone off.
No, he has Owens as his fucking profile picture.
Yeah, that happened last week.
he did that.
We don't talk about it.
Sure. All right.
Yes, it is
fine.
confusing.
Yep. Very.
I'm gonna use a luck point on this because I don't trust my dice.
Sure.
Good fucking thing I did. Holy shit.
Nice. It was up to you. I got a 13.
13.
You know what's funny? Do you know what's really funny? Guess what number I got? It was also fucking 13.
All right, we are slightly above average.
Let's go.
You ask around, kind of giving a loose Sizik and what his mother might look like. It does help that Sizik is present, but nothing of note comes about. Most of them are, I've never seen a person like that, or I don't know who you're talking about. And they also do recommend several times that if you need to help someone find their lost parent or missing parent, you might take it to the Dune Vale, because that's kind of something that they would handle. But,
we're old friends.
Yeah, you politely decline every time that you get that.
We don't want to trouble them. They're probably busy. All right. If that's just dead end.
Yeah.
Skyrise Guild.
Okay.
Skyrise Guild it is. Woo.
Kind of meandering around the Skyrise Guild, it does seem to be a place that pilots, airship pilots, are trained at. It kind of seems to be, university style, where there's various classrooms. But what exactly are you looking?
I hold on. I take I kind of like to the side. I'm like, we should ask them if they've trained. If we know the mother's name, we can ask them if they've ever trained a pilot like that before and what happened to them.
Well, we know that neither of Paloma's or Sizik's parents were pilots. They
never
just
mind then.
delivered the package to the skyport.
I see. Never mind then.
They were just seen recently in the city in the past few days.
Oh. Okay.
I mean, well, if you want to, again, keep asking around regarding Paloma's and Sizik's parents,
Yeah, I'll do that.
I would like to take look into a little bit about the more mechanical side of these airships.
Okay, yeah,
See if-
sure, that works. We'll meet back here in the lobby then.
Yeah, sounds good.
All right.
Okay.
So I'm going to ask more about around the guild about a Harangon resembling this fella here.
Sure. You find a gnome, who seems to be like a front desk clerk of some kind, eager to assist you as you come in. Yes, sir. How can I help you today? What could I do for you?
I'm kind of looking for this fella here's parents. Have you seen anyone like him around here in the past few days?
No, I don't believe so. But sorry. I can't help but notice your armor is quite prestigious.
Oh yeah, sure.
Are you a follower?
Of Helm, yes.
Oh, how very intriguing! I've been studying the gods for such a long time, but there's no churches around here. At least none that are prominent enough to answer my questions.
Well, shoot then. What questions have you?
Can you tell me why they left?
No. Only they know that. I'm sure. Like I have no idea. Maybe
I dare say you're not a very knowledgeable
You
follower
are-
then.
No.
Well, I just told you no. Like, well, okay. You're asking me something that I could not possibly know anyways, unless I was directly talking to. Like, I can't just say, "Hey, Helm, why'd you fucking leave, you bitch ass?" That's not gonna work.
Well, not with that attitude. I'm sure not. But can't you pray to your god?
Well, yeah. Are you?
Have you ever asked him why he left?
Well, given that he's the god of, protection, I usually pray to him for protection. I don't really
That didn't
have a
answer my
reason.
question. Are you
I
not
don't-
curious?
Look, I got things to do, people to see, and parents to find. So, like, what?
Interesting.
I should.
Well, I'm
fucking-
sorry. I'll wait for another follower of the gods that might be able to answer my inquiry.
Well, just give me a fucking minute. Jeez. Like, let me try. Damn. I'm gonna go off into the corner and pray to Helm and ask him why he left.
Okay. I make a religion check.
I'm gonna
Sizik,
use
what
a
are you
luck
doing?
point. I'm gonna use a luck point because I don't trust this.
Yeah,
I'm
sure.
eating.
Sizik is also eating in front of this desk worker.
Yo!
Oh, I thought you meant me.
No, Nicole, I know what you're doing. What is Sizik
Hey.
doing?
Hey.
Hold.
Okay.
I'm so
I
glad
guess-
I used a luck point.
Did Owunul put me down, or is he still just holding and then praying?
I don't know, Owunul, did you put Sizik down to pray to Helm or?
Does it look like I have enough foresight to put Sizik down before I start
Okay,
praying?
Sizik, you are being held while Owunul prays.
Great. I'm just chilling, trying not to. I'm just trying to relax so I can get rid of these freaking exhaustion points. I'm tired, boy.
Sure. All right,
Uh,
Owunul, what did you roll in your religion check?
Natural fucking 20 for an unnatural
Natural
19.
Crazy.
Oh my God.
Okay.
Hey.
You have a minus to your religion?
Yes.
This isn't new,
It's
Dan.
intelligence.
Oh my god. Only Owunul.
All right, Owunul, you find yourself once again in this lucid dream state of light.
Fucking natural 20. God damn it.
What are you praying to Helm? How are you wording it?
Okay, let me think. Very hard, I know, very dangerous. Lives will be lost in this pursuit of thinking. I I pray to the helm. Would it not be better if you were here yourself to protect these people? I can't help but wonder. I'm not like question. Okay, well I am questioning your decision, but more like I want to know the reason behind why you left, more than trying to criticize it. Help me to understand.
You don't get a verbal response, which you're kind of used to. Sometimes you get a verbal answer and sometimes not. But instead, that reassurance of protection, a feeling that kind of washes through you, and you understand that sometimes, in order to protect the things that you love most, you have to step away to do that. And there is not a full understanding to that, but there is a sympathy that comes with that. You understand at least the choice that was made, perhaps not the gravity that it was made by, but you understand maybe why something. And a little bit more clarity befalls you before your dream kind of fades back into reality.
Huh. Well, how about that? I kind of go over, like, kind of, not like shaken, just kind of out of it a little bit, like, well, I think I might know why, at the very least, Helm left.
Pray tell.
From my understanding, they left to protect us from what, I don't know, but perhaps themselves.
I see.
I mean, you think about stuff like the penultimate, like the gods intervening, and then all this shenanigans happens, and it's just like maybe that's why they're stepping back, because they want to kind of give us breathing room, so to speak.
But if they are too dangerous to be gods, then why are they gods?
Well, okay, now you're getting into the meta of like what is a god, who becomes a god, why.
Yes, I've done extensive research on metaphysics.
Well, this is more like meta religion.
Fair, touche. But
like what makes a god a god? You get to the whole demarcation problem, and
what do you think makes a god a god?
Well, I mean, I guess your average person would say.
No. You misunderstood my question. I didn't ask for the average person. I asked for you. What do you think makes a god?
An understanding that is beyond what we as normal people would have, and a power that is beyond what we as normal people would ever have.
But with that answer, that implies there is a normal. But would you not also dare say that every creature is unique and not normal?
I mean, creatures are able to be aware of different things, sure. Some, like, I don't know, a bat, more aware of all the different sounds going on, whereas people like us with eyes that still fucking work, we pay more attention to what the kinds of things that we can see, and the colors of the objects and everything like that. But to be a god, it's not just one of those things. It's not just, oh, I can see what someone else can't see. I can hear what someone else can't hear. It's, I can do all that and more. And it's that's the important part of that. It's all this stuff together. Like, some wizards have really good fucking, they have spells that let them see whatever the hell they want. But that doesn't make them a god. You have, I don't know, some really powerful people that are like very hard to beat in combat, but that doesn't quite make him a god.
Right. It seems to me like you're trying to define a god, but you don't know actually what makes a god?
Well, to define something, sometimes it helps to define what isn't that thing. You gotta kind of cut away bits and pieces of what it isn't to kind of get closer to what it is.
But
I guess there are two approaches.
But meta-religionally speaking, if you can define a god, or define what the god is not, is it a god?
Well, gods. Okay, let's define. Fine, fuck it. We'll define a set of criteria. A god.
We cut away to Altrix, who is wandering down.
You bitch.
Yeah. No, so you're telling me we have that whole conversation. Sizik just on Owunul's shoulder the whole time.
Yes.
Owunul giving me mental flashbacks to church. Hey, I have a question. No.
The only reason Sizik has stayed put is because he's absolutely exhausted.
Yeah, he is so afraid to be involved in the conversation, he's pretending to sleep.
Yep, sure. Altrix, you have wandered down the hall. And you're looking for a ship itself?
A ship, maybe a class, maybe just like a mini library. I'm just looking for more technical stuff on how physically airships work.
Sure. You find a classroom. There seems to be an Aarakocra, but a parrot Aarakocra, some green and white feathers, with a peg leg that is kind of standing on a little bit of a raised stage, almost like a professor, and is kind of lecturing various pilots on kind of the mechanical aspects of airships and how they function. The class seems to be kind of dwindling down to an end, so maybe if you wait 2 or 3 minutes, you'll be able to catch the students or even the professor as they are leaving. But that's up to you.
Yeah, I guess I'll just hang around.
Sure. And that, my fellow students, is why we all wear our safety harnesses and always power down the airship before you disembark. That's all for today's lecture, though. We'll be back tomorrow. Thank you, Professor. Thank you. And various questions, kind of answering them as people are walking out the door off to their next class or off home for lunch, as now it is closer to 11:30. But soon it is just you and this parrot man, kind of standing in the room. Well, could I help you?
Kind of looking at like maybe a board or like a paper he has up. Are there any like technical documents with like images of airships or?
Oh, several.
Any of them that would match the ship we found crashed in the Pickle Pines?
Make a history check to see how well you recall those mechanics.
Ooh, okay, terrible roll, but I have a big bonus to this. 14.
14. A lot of airships, to at least what you're looking through as these papers are kind of defining, seem to be based on the same model. All designed by Dr. Urag, and just kind of different iterations of that. So to pinpoint the exact layout would be very difficult to do, as a lot of airships are going to match that. But you do find at least some outline, at least close enough.
Yeah, so, like a general style of
right
airs. Okay. Yes, excuse me.
Quite interest. Yes, of course.
Just had maybe some questions you might be able to help me with. I take it you're
yes
experienced with airships and whatnot.
Yes, Palrik, nice to meet you.
Altrix.
What brings you to the Skyrise Guild?
Well, I am currently investigating a bit of an accident that occurred with an airship, and I was hoping I could perhaps get some of your insights on the matter.
Of course. What accident are you referring to?
Well, you see, a airship was found crashed on the continent of Phenorbia in Pickle Pines.
That's quite a bit of ways away from here.
Yes. It is quite a bit of ways from nearly any skyport. What it was doing there is a mystery at this time.
Very well.
And the wreckage was rather odd, so to speak. Most notably, the engine, I can't remember exactly the model, but it was one of these here, with the engine kind of towards the rear of the ship, and it was, I mean, to put it simply, gone.
Gone?
Not a shred left of it in the wreckage. So I guess my question exactly is, without an engine, exactly how far would an airship be able to travel before crashing?
Do you know the model?
Again, not precisely. Again, it would just be one of similar to these here that you have.
Right. All right. Do you know if it was a commercial airship?
I believe so, yes.
Right. Assuming a commercial airship, be an Arc-E engine, 3.41, would likely coast at a cruising altitude of 30,000 feet. Probably 100 miles. Seems about right.
100 miles without an engine at all?
Yeah, the coasting and propelling distance of the lift on the wings would allow it to kind of cruise down to a lower altitude. That also assumes, though, that you are cruising at a standard altitude of 30,000 feet.
Gotcha, but it could be assumed that perhaps whatever accident occurred aboard that caused it to lose its engine could have happened anywhere within the range of 100 miles of its crash site.
I suppose that would be a fair assumption.
Interesting.
But, on the other hand, if you're operating a private airship on an Arc-E 2.93 engine, then your engine, if it was to explode, detonate, or, otherwise power off and not be usable, you would likely cruise 80 miles at a standard private distance, altitude of 25,000 feet, usually.
So 100 miles if commercial, 80 miles if private.
Right, and then you have various other models of airships, but those are the two common.
Yes, I understand this is all approximate.
Right. It does sound like, though, if you were traveling towards Pickle Pines, I've never been there myself, but I've seen a map before, you would likely be headed to or from Elatar Bay.
Yes.
Something got off course there. But even that would be several hundred miles off course. Likely the ship veering. Various reasons. A storm, perhaps.
So would that be more so a ship heading to Elatar Bay, or perhaps heading out of Elatar Bay?
Given its angulation, pulls out a map from one of his briefcases and lays it out on it, and begins to kind of sketch lines on it with a feather, a quill, ink and quill. Likely be headed northbound from Unipol Port or westbound from Zaria, most likely. But both would require a severe off-course angle. You'd also have to fly past the skyport for that crash site to make sense.
Yes.
But this is all speculation, Private airships can go wherever and whenever they wish to go. They don't have to follow or adhere to legalistic regulations.
Yeah. Well, unfortunately, I don't think there's much else you can help me on this matter. I do appreciate your assistance.
Oh, very well.
I
traveled a long way from Fenorbia to here.
Well, no, we're just asking around, trying to get as many inputs as we can.
Asking around on a pretty large radius, but
well,
who am I to judge?
I figured that the Skyrise
Guild.
Yeah, there we go. Skyrise Guild. I wrote it down.
Yeah, right.
The Skyrise Guild would, I don't know, be able to provide a little more insight than, just the standard dockmasters at the various skyports we've been to. But you have. Thank you.
Sure.
Although, while I do have you here, bit of on an unrelated note, in regards to, you had mentioned, about wings generating lift.
Yes. That is how most flying machines operate.
So, I had a bit of a side project of mine. I was just wondering if you could provide your expertise on the matter.
I can certainly try. Are you a mechanic? Or a pilot?
Of sorts.
I'll take of sorts. That's what I train and teach here, so.
Mainly, I just need your help trying to get... I again don't know too much about wings, so I don't know if you just kind of do it and it works, or if there's more to it than that. As well as exactly figuring out how much thrust I'll need, and I will slide him over a sketch of the wings system.
Well, it looks like you've calculated enough thrust, although you have not accounted for drag. Might want to factor that into your calculations.
Okay. In that case, I might need to switch it out for... Probably if I just switch it to a twin tank system, then that might help with that.
That would allow you to get more of an equal propulsion, therefore increasing your thrust.
Not to mention, I could have independent control over each one, allowing for probably better turning.
I have to ask, are you a student of the Arcane Oasis?
To put it simply, no.
Oh. Well, I was only asking because Provost Kistrel would be absolutely delighted to see such a young individual like yourself take a keen interest in the mechanics of the modern world. It's quite an impressive design.
Well, I appreciate your compliments. I mean, it's still a theory at the time. Still need quite a bit of, just materials to even begin to think about making it into something.
Oh yes, you absolutely would require that. But an Arcanist gemstone would be very useful in aiding that kind of machinery.
Well, energy production is less so the concern, it's more so the control system. I have studied about, using certain existing magics, incorporating those into it, particularly those that allow you to manipulate things, scrolls of animation, so to speak. Those are not easy to come by.
No, they certainly are not. I would also recommend you taking a copy, as he hands a Moxicorol over to you. This is a general design layout for a switchboard on a standard Ilethian airship, but if you were to find a way to be able to minimize this design, it would prove most useful, enabling your control of whatever craft you're attempting to make.
Oh. Well, thank you.
You're welcome. And if you are interested in staying around, I definitely could use students like yourself.
If I only had the time.
Perhaps a later time, then.
Perhaps. Again, thank you.
May I escort you out?
Well, I won't stop you.
Begins to walk and talk with you back to the main lobby, where still in a deep conversation about meta-religion with a gnome and over his shoulder. But the gnome is stops briefly. Oh, Director Venthollow, how was your lecture? It was just fine. This is quite a student we have here. Did you not catch his name on the way in? No, sorry, I was preoccupied by my deep dive on meta-religion and just all the questions that come along with that, so I'm so sorry, sir. But what is your name? Gesturing to you, Altrix.
Oh, Altrix.
Oh, it's a pleasure to meet you. Your friend has been quite enlightening. Well, at least one of them. But this one, gesturing up to Sizik, who is asleep. What is your name?
Oh, he's very tired right now. He might not be able to say his name, but I guess I could tell you. Should I?
I was simply going to ask because never mind.
Well.
Oh, speak.
No. It's nothing.
Well, if it was nothing, then you wouldn't have thought about it. No thought is nothing.
You just look very familiar. That's all.
What you mean? You mean Sizik?
Sizik. The name isn't familiar to me, but you just look very familiar.
You say you know. I mean, like, who are you referring to?
Are you a home builder?
Who again? Who? Which one are you referring
Sizik.
to? Please, Mason, for me. Which person
Sizik.
are you looking at?
Sizik.
Context clues, Riley.
Talking to Sizik.
You're asking me to recognize context clues? Do you realize what?
That's your fault.
Well,
I am clarifying.
Considering he is a child, I would say not.
That's why I didn't ask.
And in any case, do you recall someone matching his description?
Oh yes, just a very famous home builder, but
Really?
Do you know this person's name? Because I don't.
Not the first name, no, but it was Lightfoot Builders.
Ooh.
Do they have anywhere in town?
Lightfoot Home. No,
Did-
no. Oh. No. Not that I have.
Okay.
Well, if there's any famous contractor, we actually might have interest in their services, perhaps.
No, I am quite certain that Mr. Lightfoot did build my parents' home, but I don't have a definitive answer on that one. My apologies.
Well, any case.
This is new information. Thank you.
Yes, we really must be going.
Of course. Have a excellent journey to wherever you're going next. You folks, come back whenever you're ready.
Fuck. Jesus. Lightning. Fucking. It was so close.
It's okay.
I'm gonna die.
Sizik, did you react to any of that information?
If I was conscious.
I don't think you were actually sleeping. I think you were just faking.
It's hard to sleep when you have two people discussing religion.
Yep.
Actually, I think that would make it easier to sleep.
No.
Depending on your view on the subject.
Yeah. Yeah, kind of, but in a very, very slight way. So it's like maybe somebody noticed.
Sure. Make a deception check for me.
And then I get, what, -4? So that is a straight 10.
10. Owunul, as you're leaving, you feel the kind of the jolt of Sizik kind of lift his head, and then try to act like he didn't perk up at hearing the last name Lightfoot. But it was very obvious to just about everybody. That's okay. The three of you depart from the Skyrise Guild, and we will take a different view of the city, but here in the core souk, as Paloma, Rancor, and Evadin. The three of you have entered into the bustling marketplace at the center of town. Well,
Okay.
Well,
it is very busy. People are selling wares. There are various shops opened, various colorful textiles, kind of acting as awning and umbrellas shielding from the desert heat. Various cafes, restaurants, knickknacks, clothing stores, potions, just a complete different array of just merchants and their wares across the Korthals, all built around this like luxurious, luscious oasis right at the center of town. There is nice little fountains of water that kind of are feeding it, and various palm trees swaying in the gentle desert breeze. A amalgam of scents of freshly cooked meals to freshly woven silk textiles, mixing with dyes made of natural ingredients, hits your noses. But the three of you, what are you looking for?
I don't know. Is it busy enough that people are like bumping into each other pretty frequently?
At 10:30 or so, not yet, but you have a feeling that it will get that way.
Okay.
I make sure I want to secure I want to make sure all my stuff is secure as we're going in, and I'm also going to disguise self to not look like a tiefling, since it seems like
Sure.
The police like to profile.
Sure.
They're racist.
I didn't say that.
Paloma, did your mother happen to be like in a part of a company or group, something that would be easier to look for, or no?
Not as far as I'm aware of.
Okay, so walk around and ask for people to look like you.
I guess.
Okay.
This is such a long shot.
I will. I'm gonna keep my eye out while y'all talk around and seeing if I can spot anything. Especially those who might be shady and
I'll just start. I think I'll start with like the most. What's the right word? Not luxurious, but like the more popular shops. Kind of start there, seeing as they probably get more people going through. And just start asking, have you seen someone that looks like this but bigger?
Maybe.
Have you seen someone that looks like this but not her?
Okay. Find various locales. I'll just kind of list off some names of local shops, restaurants. Take note. First is Threads and Mirrors. It is a luxurious boutique. Also find Flame and Ore, which is like a smithy or metalworks. You'll also find Almara's Apothecary. It's an apothecary, as you could guess, I'm sure. You find Zafari's Safari, which is a knick-knack and oddities store, kind of out underneath a few palm trees. the Sanskrit Atelier, and the Bronze Baker. Also, the Jest and Jamble, and Smax's Saffron.
The last two, and the one. I already forgot the names. What the last two? What kind of shops are those?
Jest and Jamble seems to be selling semi-precious stones, joke trinkets, and enchanted dice. And then Smax's Saffron is an open-air restaurant. Seems to be very high-end.
And the one before the bakery,
the Sanskrit Atelier is a calligraphy and scribing shop.
Okay. Paloma, do any of these stores seem like someplace your mother would visit?
Let's try the knick-knack store.
Is it because you want to go there, or because your mother would go there?
Okay, so you
That's
want to go to Zafari's Safari?
Yes.
Okay. I saw it, Anna, in your eyes. Your eyes went. Okay. Kind of exiting away from the sprawling bazaar that is the Korsuk, a stall absolutely crammed with oddities, snake-charmed flutes, memory-imbued tiles like a Scrabble board, and even an occasional cursed coin with a attached waiver that says we're not responsible for anything that may have befallen you. Cursed coin should you purchase. So on and so forth. All sold by the absolute eccentric half-gnome. I've never seen a half-gnome. Zafari, who claims, or bolsters, I should say, to have survived 6 different curses all at the same time. Just barely. And might as well, if you're here at Zafari, to Safari for the unexpected. But, as you walk up.
Hello, Zafari? Is it?
Safari.
It's Zafari.
Zafari.
Okay. Zafari? Yes?
That's correct.
Bit of an odd question. Have you seen anyone recently that looks similar to her? She's a little lost and trying to find her parents.
You see the half-gnome kind of puts away a trinket and looks up, kind of adjusting her glasses on her face, which are definitely at like a strange angle on her head. They quite line up, like her eyes are slightly shifted. Probably a past accident, maybe one of those curses she was talking about, you're not sure. Ambassador Pata?
No. What?
I didn't expect you to be back so soon. I was under the assumption you would turn to your hometown.
No, I'm back.
Wait, what? Make a deception check. Anna?
Do you need guidance?
It's not gonna help. That is an unnatural 1.
Okay.
Oh.
You
Oh
seem to have
my
gotten,
fucking god.
You seem to have gotten shorter last I spoke with you.
Yeah, I need to do my stretches.
Right. Well, what brings you to Safari today?
I lost the thing that I purchased here last time, and I need to purchase an exact copy.
Right. Could you tell me what you purchased last time so I might refresh my memory?
Mason, can I make a history check and see what the thing in the store most likely for my mother to have bought?
That would not be a history check. That would be a intelligence check.
Oh,
We're gonna do investigation.
They're actually the same thing.
Great.
History, intelligence, it's all 0. 8.
8. There is one of those snake charmed flutes that I mentioned that you are absolutely sure this is what you would buy. Not that sure if that's what your mother would buy.
I pick up the flute.
Oh yeah, sand charmed flute. Very popular.
This is what I was here for last time, right?
Right. Why are you looking for the ambassador?
She's my mom.
Mom? She doesn't have any kids.
Do you not see the resemblance?
I mean, vaguely.
No.
You are shorter, though.
Why is that the thing you? I'm not here.
I'm only 18. I'll catch up eventually.
I mean, I don't know her super well, but I don't think she has any children. But teach their own.
You literally called her by her mother's name because you thought she was her mother. Did you not?
Well, that's a fair point.
If this party had a nickel for every time that happened.
I
We
think
get
we
two
have like
nickels.
2 nickels.
Which isn't that much.
I'm looking for her. I need to find her. You said she went back to Garai?
If that's her hometown, then yes. That was my assumption. I
Insight
haven't
check.
seen her in several weeks.
Several weeks, okay.
Make an insight check. A Rancor, if you'd like to. Or Paloma, you can as well. And so can Evadin, if all would like to do that.
Way
I'm
better
gonna
at
do
those.
Everyone gets an
I
insight
d-
check.
I don't know anything about the woman I'm looking for, but I can tell if you're lying.
Well, Zaire, whatever, had just said that they were seen a couple days ago. This person said that they hadn't seen him in 2 weeks, so they could be lying. Could be telling the truth. All right, insight.
That one's
21 for me.
25.
25, Rancor.
18.
18, Evadin.
21.
21. All of you get the general sense that this person is now cautious to give you information because you've already tried to lie about being the ambassador. You also get the sense that this is not like a best friend, someone that doesn't know every detail about this person, more so just an acquaintance, a person you speak to every so often. So there seems to be a great deal of truth in what Zafari is saying to you. You all look absolutely shocked. I haven't seen the ambassador, though, in quite some time.
Okay. Thanks anyway.
Right. She
You
came
know
here
any-
to purchase a box.
A box.
Um,
Okay. What kind of
yeah.
box? Like a magic box?
Yes. A magic box.
What did you do?
And
Tell me why I should tell you that. What exactly are you... You said you're her mother, or that's your mother. I'm not particularly inclined to believe you, but your friend made a good... I did at least mistake, so there at least is some resemblance there. I'll give you that. But why do you need to find your mother?
Because she didn't tell me where she was going, and I'd like to find her. I haven't seen her for a long time.
She stopped by here with her attaché.
Who was her attaché? Oh, was it
I
a
am-
Harangon?
Yes.
Okay.
Anyway, to pick up a box to store something in. Seemed to be very simple.
she wanted
box
just
was-
the box, not
no.
what was in the box.
No, box for storage purposes. Likely to spell on it, to cast a spell on it. Didn't have a spell already transcribed on it though when she purchased it. It was just a box. A sturdier box. But
Okay. How much did the box cost?
50 gold pieces, I think, is what I sold it for.
Okay,
More than your average crate, but
thanks.
you're welcome. Anything else I can help you three with?
Anything else y'all want? Or
You know what other places the ambassador where she seems to usually frequents when she's here?
And this half gnome gestures to the tower behind you. You see the Nightlight Spire, which is a little bitty miniature tower in comparison to the Sultan's Palace that towers over the Korsuk and the entire city of Pajak. Ambassador to the Sultan, I imagine she frequented the Sultan on a regular basis.
Can I have Ozen make an investigation if there's like any weird like construction? We're in a building, right? Not like a tent.
You're outside. It's open air. Kind of in front, like a stall with like an awning over it.
Okay, never mind then.
Okay.
I thought we were indoors.
Yeah, most of the Korsuk and the central marketplace is outdoors. There are some shops that kind of line the outer rim of, but most of it is open air.
Alright, well,
So, anything else?
if that's all you can give us about her, then I think that's it. But thank you for the insight.
Fair enough.
You have any magical wares that you sell?
Depends on what you define as useful, but I do have magical wares. I have a cursed coin.
yeah, Evadin, why don't you buy that?
They're very interesting. I've survived 6 of these things.
Do not tempt her.
Oh no, they're absolutely wonderful.
She's already cursed.
No.
More curses isn't going to hurt you. I survived 6. All at the same time.
The curses,
I will-
the
I will,
curses
like-
cancel out.
No, what kind of
I think
ridiculous logic is that?
Actually, I think it could, depending on the curse.
I will like pull down my sleeve where there's just like a bunch of jab marks from Altrix every night, getting the blood for Evadin. She needs my blood every night.
Yeah, do you know how to fix curses? You clearly can give them, but can you fix them?
No,
Y'all.
that is far beyond my purview, but I might be able to recommend. Could. But let me think about it for a second.
As she pulls up a giant binder from under the desk.
Yep. Says Pajakeen, all the ins and outs on it. Might take a look at the Dawn Watch Towers. If you need religious aid, that would be the only place in the city that, or medical aid, in the matter of that fact.
Okay, thanks.
Thank you.
Well, you folks have a good day. Don't get scorched.
It's freezing.
So, do we go to the tower, or...
I wasn't
The Sultan's
aware your
Palace?
mother was an ambassador.
Neither was I.
New developments.
How much do you know about your mother?
I'm about 7 years out of date.
Fair enough. So they came here to buy the box, to ship the thingy in. Interesting. I guess the tower, the night,
Sultan's Palace.
not the
Dawn
palace.
Watch Towers.
No, not that one.
Oh, the Sultan's Palace.
No, you said
No, the
the one with that Pura was like stayed at. That tower, not the palace.
Oh, there's the Nightlight Spire, which is where you guys last night stayed. And then it's right next to the Sultan's Palace, which is the tallest building in.
I thought she said
Washington.
that Pata often frequented the nightlight.
No, I was gesturing to the Sultan's Palace
Oh, okay, never mind.
as a place that an ambassador would go if they were ambassador to the Sultan.
yeah, we could go ask, but
Okay. Can
Well,
someone
I think-
else do the talking?
Well, I was prepared to, but then she kind of threw me off by just calling you by your mother's name, and I wasn't sure what to do from there. Well, I doubt we can just walk into the palace. Unless perhaps you could pose as your mother.
Oh, I guess I can try.
I don't think that's a good idea. I think it would actually be a far reasonable thing to just be
They
like,
don't even
hey.
know she has kids, so that's not even gonna work.
Well, clearly talking about her and asking around about her doesn't seem to be the smartest idea, considering
She's the ambassador.
considering just her being a merchant seemed a little too. Didn't seem to want to talk about her all that much. So I feel like going to the palace where all the guards and stuff are and asking around probably not the smartest idea either.
Should we try any of the other places?
I guess
If there was a high-end restaurant, maybe that's something that she would frequent as an ambassador, and we could get more information there.
Paloma, make a history check, please.
Oh. Why do you hate
Mason's like, I need to
Can I give guidance to this or no?
me?
This is to remember that your mother cannot eat.
I'll give
She
guidance
needs
to
to
this.
know.
Please.
This one I would say no. I'm
Ah.
sorry.
Darn, I tried.
You hate me.
Yep,
Don't you have
totally a fair
inspiration
question.
from last session?
I do.
Does she want to use it on this though?
I want to use it on this. I have to decide that before I roll. Yes.
That's to get an
Yes.
advantage, but if you after you
Yeah.
roll you can add a +10 or add a
D10.
D10.
Yeah, D10. Yes, that's correct.
I'll just roll.
Okay, no help. You got this, Paloma.
That's not too bad. 16.
16. Again, like you said, you are 7 years out of date for knowing Pata and her choices about her life. But you do remember that as she was raising you, while she was very, very much a prominent figure, she did not care for the praise or the formalities that came with that. So it makes more sense now as you're thinking that she would visit perhaps a lower end merchant than a high end restaurant. She would visit places that are more casual because that seems to be more of her demeanor that you can recall. Now, again, take that with a grain of salt or several because that is information from at minimum 7 years ago. But there's that.
Okay. No, I don't think she'd go to a uptight place like that. Is there any other restaurants here, like more like a? There, you said there was a tavern.
There is the
Place we
Bronze
used to-
Baker.
Okay.
Yeah, the Bronze Baker is nearby in the core soup.
Can we try there instead?
Sure. It's on the ground floor, not in one of the buildings. Like,
Have I seen
kind
any
of-
suspicious any
Go ahead.
suspicious stuff as I've been going around?
make
Like
a
anyone
perception
who
check.
Aside from us.
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah.
From us.
aside from us. Where's my eyeball dice? Eyeball dice. That is going to be a 13.
Sure. Occasionally a member of the Dune Vale, kind of walking around, just patrolling the streets, still maybe on a little bit higher alert because of the events that transpired yesterday and the robbery. But nothing particularly odd. I mean, it is a marketplace. The worst you've seen maybe is someone trying to swipe, something from one of the carts. But nothing odd.
Okay. Try the other restaurant.
Sure. The Bronze Baker, you find a collection of like 4 palm trees kind of randomly spaced out with various tarps and textiles kind of draped between them. And you've got this like little stall kind of set up underneath it and various portable tables and chairs set out for a place that's able to be easily moved if necessary. And a wooden sign kind of staked into the ground that reads the Bronze Baker. The only thing that doesn't seem like it would be movable is kind of a defunct kind of bronze golem that is kind of bent in various places and is perched up on a rock that juts out of the ground. And it kind of has various cookware kind of draped over its neck. But you find just a couple of people at this, getting ready to eat brunch, maybe various pots kind of swaying in the desert breeze, enchanted cutlery kind of dancing and cutting up various vegetables and kind of mixing them into a stew as the owner is kind of surveying for customers as you enter.
Okay, I just walk up to the person who is cooking.
Oh.
All good. Yep. Okay. Sorry. Okay. You find a human male. It seems to be sandy hair, who kind of sculpting bread into various artistic on a cutting. As you walk up.
What can I do for you, folk? How can I help you?
Hi, do you recognize me?
That's a very peculiar question, and no, I cannot say I do.
Okay, we can leave now.
No, wait, please, stay for lunch.
Is it about lunchtime?
It is approaching 11 o'clock, so early lunch.
We didn't have breakfast, though, did we? Well, no, Evadin would have had breakfast. At least something.
Yeah, I guess.
Could I interest you in a date roll?
Sure.
We're still on a kind of our breakfast menu before we transition to lunch, but if you want our lunch menu, too.
Why not? One
So
of those.
breakfast or lunch?
No. Oh wait. Are dates like cherries?
They are fruit. They do have a pit.
No, but like. Okay, then no. No, I don't
Okay.
want one of those. Thank you.
Stew instead, then. All right, and for you two, folk, what can I do for you?
What are your options?
I've got date rolls, honey date rolls. Be mad at. So, I've got my various salads. Got the Sultan salad. It's our classic. And then also our general lunch stew.
Let's go with a small stew.
Stew it is.
How much are the stews?
Small is gonna be copper piece. Large is gonna be 3 copper pieces.
I'll do a large.
Very well. And Paloma, what are you ordering?
Small stew.
Okay. All right. So 1 copper piece, 1 copper piece, and 3 copper pieces. Totally. Fine.
Does he have a change if I do a silver piece?
Yes.
You tell me you don't have a single 3 copper pieces?
I'm too rich. I don't have copper pieces.
But now I do. I have
Yep,
7
you
copper
get
pieces.
7 back. Sure.
Mhm.
Okay. Brings out a stew. Looks pretty mediocre. Nothing to die for. Just carrots and potatoes mixed in.
So,
Occasionally a radish if you find one. If you're lucky enough to find a radish, but
so can I? Sorry, to ask, I guess, a bit more clearly, you haven't seen anyone who, like, looks like me in the past couple days? I'm looking for my mom.
Now that you mention it, you do kind of look vaguely familiar, but I don't recall. I don't think so, but maybe.
They might.
That was not very helpful, but
this someone might have been traveling with a Herringon.
Oh, yeah.
Herringon. Yeah. All right. No, I don't think so. I don't think I recall.
Can I make an insight check? Because considering how much he wanted us to stay and eat, and just the way he talks, makes you feel like he wants
That's
money.
stereotyping.
He's got the very suspicious, like, wants money sort of.
That's
yeah,
still stereotyping.
I don't care. Call it whatever you want.
It's stereotyping. That's what I'm calling it.
I'm trying to see if he knows something and he wants money or something before he'll spill it, or if he truly doesn't know. Oh.
There.
Oh, he's frozen.
Are we good?
There you are. That's a mod 20.
Okay. Definitely is a shopkeeper. So obviously wants money. That's not that hard to get. Doesn't seem to be lying to you though. Definitely wants your business, but doesn't know anything.
Alright.
How good is the stew?
It's all right.
Mason, roll for performance.
Yeah, I will. I'll roll for performance. It's actually really good stew. Wow. It's a 19. It's good. It's good stew.
3 copper piece stew is good.
The sand adds flavor.
Adds a little bit of iron into my stew.
I don't know where to try next.
Yes. Sorry, I'm going to disappear for a split second.
No DM anarchy!
Yes!
I was like, well, here's the thing I can ask.
Burn it to the ground.
What? Sorry. Okay. What is the mom's name again?
Pata.
Pata.
And Mara.
Mara and Pata. Cool. I will turn to the guy and be. I guess. Yeah, I'll turn to him and be like, alrighty. Well, actually, before I turned to him, I was like, should we just try the direct approach? I like whispered to whisper to like, Paloma.
I don't know what you mean by that. I already asked you.
Name drop directly for the person we're looking for.
I guess.
Would it be better for you to do it or me?
I'll do it. Okay. Sorry.
Why y'all folks whispering so much? No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. He's just serving you stew, bringing it out as you're eating it, and helping other customers. Yeah, what can I do for you?
So I was wondering if maybe the name Ambassador Pata rang a bell.
Ambassador? I don't know anybody named Ambassador.
No, that's not her name. That's her title. That'd be a dumb name.
Well, you did say the name Ambassador Pata.
Okay.
Sorry, I don't know to assume.
Do you know her or not?
I've heard of an ambassador named Pata before, but no, I don't know her. I just know of her.
Okay. Do you know if she's still here in town?
I have no idea.
Is there anyone who would?
Maybe try people that she would work with. I don't know. Do I look like an investigator to you?
No.
I'm a salesman. I make stew.
And bread.
And bread. Don't forget the bread. It's very good bread.
Thanks. Maybe we should talk to the. If we can't go directly to the palace, maybe we should try talking to the people who arrested you when we got here.
Oh, no, I'm not going. Yeah, not them. I mean, I don't see the palace would be bad. It's more of
the issue with the palace is that clearly her name carries quite a bit of weight, and if we're just looking for her, out of nowhere, and considering no one knows that she has children, it seems very suspicious, and they probably won't be keen to let us in on that information, but I don't think we're going to find, unless we get lucky and hit the sweet spots of somewhere she frequents, I don't think we're going to get much more information looking around here. It seems like the palace might be our best bet.
I think the thing with that with most political people is they do whenever you go ask about them, they'll at least tell you if they're in or not. You can ask if they're at the place, and they'll usually
Well,
say
considering that her mother seems to be doing some shady business, they probably won't just say that it's out of nowhere.
they probably don't know she's doing the shady business. Is my guess.
My point being is we gotta be careful about just asking willy-nilly. We ask the wrong person, say the wrong thing, and we could end up with knives in our backs.
Yeah.
Assuming we don't
We'll
have
have
a fail already.
we'll have all of you roll stealth checks as you're whispering all these things.
Okay.
No.
Yes.
No.
I got my number.
Okay. Paloma.
Dirty 20.
Okay. Rancor.
17. Wait, no.
Okay.
18.
Okay. And Evadin.
24.
Okay. Seem to be maintaining a hushed conversation. Don't think anybody's overheard you yet. But
Except for that one guy over there with the giant ass ears.
Horton hears a.
Yes. Horton hears a
Horton hears a
motherfucker.
snitch.
God damn it, you beat me to it by muted my mic.
Don't answer it. Neither of you are here.
I guess I can go ask. Or I can go ask. Or we can just join back up with the rest of everyone else and tell them we didn't find fucking shit.
I mean, realistically, I think the only place that we can look is finding some shady business for that if we want to try that, and that's would take a bit of digging.
I'll go find you a shovel.
Thank you for taking it literally.
Well, that's your area of expertise.
Should we, if we're doing the palace, should we do that just us two or us three, or wait, get everyone else? A bigger group might draw a little too much attention.
I think. Let me come along. I think that I could be still useful. I do know at least some bits about politics after all, so I could help. I could maybe help out with that if something comes up. I don't mind throwing my name around if it means that we get things done.
Oh, really?
Depends on the situation. If it's
Well, how much does your family name have power outside of Montero?
more of, it doesn't mean that it not necessarily the power. It's more of actually, Mason, how much like knowledge would people have of the different like the government of like Brontero here? Like what would you say, like how well known is the government is like that like, you know, we know about different countries from different continents and like their leadership stuff like that. A little bit because we hear about the news and such.
Make an intelligence check for me.
Okay. Can I add guidance to that?
You can.
Someone grab the dice.
Not.
Okay.
Not.
Unfortunate. But that is
You
still
can,
a
but you may not.
14.
14. You do understand that if you were in Phenorbia, the name Dazav would probably carry a lot of weight. But outside of that, given your knowledge of Brontero's lack of alliances and choice to kind of not get involved in foreign political affairs, probably not a lot of knowledge. High up officials might recognize the name, but they definitely wouldn't bat an eye. They wouldn't care.
So, do we want to try the same strategy of your lost child looking for mom? Or do we scrap that since no one seems to know or believe your mother has children?
I think it's more of we don't start off with a lie of being the person.
Okay.
I think establishing a little bit of trust there is gonna go a long way.
Sure.
I think, honestly, even if she doesn't, I mean, there's definitely secret affairs that everyone has, and like us government has and such. Trust me,
I'm not a secret affair, kid.
Well, that maybe no one knows about you, so they might look at it that way.
Was your mother publicly married?
Yes.
No one
How do
knows
you
about
know?
you after talking to 2 people.
Both of whom did not know her well.
Right.
So
Sure.
do we just say you're looking for your mom, which is not a lie, technically.
Yeah, let's try it.
And I don't think I'd be suspicious if the child of the person is looking for their mom.
Alright. Up to the 1,000 steps.
And then I
Right.
would keep an eye out for anything suspicious as I go along.
Yep. The towering ziggurat that is the Sultan's palace that overlooks all of Pajakin, notably the Korsuk, though, and its surrounding area. You have to go up towards the Nightlight Spire, kind of that's where you all stayed last night. And then a staircase kind of branches off and goes up even further up the hill, and actually to the front door of the Sultan's palace. But once you step inside, the liveliness of the city kind of dimming in the background as you enter into not necessarily a grand hall, but it is well decorated. A nice foyer, large sandstone columns, polished, with ancient, looks like not ancient, but older pieces of a lost civilization, perhaps, kind of built into them, along with cracks that are filled with gold leaf. A very traditional Pajakin textile carpet kind of laid out across, making a direct line through this large hall, all the way up to directly under this dangling chandelier, where you find kind of a welcome desk. And it's staffed with a few tabaxis, a few khajiits, a few leonins, a human or two, but kind of what is noticeable when you first walk in is a tiefling woman, a tiefling male, my apologies, who is kind of clutching a collection of scrolls underneath their right arm, and seems to be speaking with a tone of authority to these workers, dressed in the traditional Pajakin garbs that mark them, like a Dune Vale official, as someone of station. Right, so we need to file this. Citizen tax rates needs to go in the archives for this year. We need to prepare next year's documents. Don't forget the audit is coming up. Is there anything else? And one of the Leonins speak up. No, Grand Archivist, that is all. Very well, I shall leave you to your task then. And begins to turn to exit, kind of off a side chamber as all of you are approaching. Kind of clocks all of you as you enter, but does not stop their brisk walk.
Brisk walk as in like they're just busy, they need to hurry?
Yes.
Or okay.
Yeah, that.
Takes note.
Okay.
Just walk up to the
Yes.
front desk.
Welcome to the Sultan's Palace, here in Pajakin, your center of government right here at home. What can we do for you?
We are looking for this one's mother.
Oh, that would be a Dunevale matter if I could direct you back down to the Korsuk.
No, but my mom is Ambassador Pata.
Oh, very well.
Is she in right now?
Yeah.
No, she is out on business.
She is. One more time.
Cole, you are unmuted. Cole, mute yourself, please.
Mute yourself. My mic.
I got it. He's muted.
So good.
It's okay.
Cool.
Very good. No, she is not in right now. I was under the assumption that she was taking some vacation time.
Oh. Where to? Back to garage?
Unless I
you
recall.
say?
Yes, that does sound about right. Is there an urgent matter that I need to take? I know you said she's your mother, but I wasn't aware that she had children, so if there's a message I could take for you.
No. Just hadn't seen her for a while. Wanted to see her.
Of course. Very respectable.
So she said she's on vacation?
Yes,
Okay.
her and her attaché
Oh, Mara.
decided to take some vacation. Yes, Mara.
Okay.
A wonderful woman.
Do you happen to know when they left for this vacation?
Yes, their vacation began, I would say 2.5 weeks or so ago. To speak plainly with you, Ambassador Pata or her attaché Mara never take vacation time. They have accrued quite a bit of time since their enrollment here.
This is gonna
So-
sound like a dumb question.
Oh, no, dumb questions. We are here to help.
Thank you. How long has she been working here?
She became an ambassador. I think she's been working here longer than myself, so that would put longer than 5 years.
Okay.
But to the specifics, I'm sorry, I couldn't answer that. I don't know. The Grand Archivist, if you just saw him as he was exiting, he might have a better recollection, but fitting in with the schedule is probably weeks out. He's very busy.
No worries. Thank you. Was there
Right.
anywhere in town that she stayed other than here, or?
Most of the ambassadors and advisors to the Sultan would stay at the Nightlight Spire, but I do not ever recall seeing Ambassador Pata ever stay there. I wish I could give you more insight, but I just simply do not keep records on those individuals.
No worries. Thanks for your help.
Of course. Is there anything else I can do for any of you? Are all of you looking for Ambassador Pata?
Yes.
Yeah, they're with me.
I see. And are you also her children?
No.
Right. Okay.
But-
Didn't want to assume, but well.
Okay, thanks. Bye.
Good day to you too.
Uh,
And you can hear as you walk away just whispers amongst the front desk.
Can I do a perception check to see what they're whispering about?
You can.
$18.
Most of it is just general curiosity, like children. She never mentioned she had children, and just kind of that commotion. That's generally about it. Just curious.
all right. I guess we're just walking back down the 1,000 steps.
It's not 1,000 steps, but okay.
We said it's a ziggurat. Those things are pretty big.
Yeah, you're not at the top of the ziggurat though. You're like at the bottom.
Oh, okay. Never mind then.
Yeah, the entrance is at the bottom. You could go to the top if you wanted to, but
Can I? Can I see if anyone's following us or watching us closely after
Sure.
we leave the palace itself?
Sure. I will just take your perception roll from last time. It does not
Mhm.
seem that you are being followed.
Okay.
I just need one little piece of her, and I could find her.
I'm
You
sorry,
know, we
what?
probably
Do
could
you
have
need
just-
of her?
I
Not here.
stop, Riley. You know, if we just need a piece, we could. If she has, do you think she might have an office here? We could just go there.
Oh yeah, we didn't ask that.
Yes, I
Back up
feel
a
like it
thousand
just,
steps.
I thought about that, but I felt like
We go back
they seemed
inside.
more.
We march up to the desk.
Oh.
Is that
you
the
go back
vote?
inside?
See, no, I see what you mean. Where it could
Oh,
be seen
okay.
as suspicious.
Paloma doubles back, kind of running back up the stairs. Back so
Paloma,
soon.
no!
Hi,
Oh, well.
sorry, I forgot to ask. Does she have an office here, and can I see it?
Those are two questions. And the second one will be invalid because of the answer of the first. No, she does not have an office. Ambassadors do not keep offices here in the capital. They usually maintain offices back at their home residences, if any. They're more
And you
lower
don't know
lower
where
officials.
she stayed? Like, what if you had to send her mail?
We would have a sending sent
Oh.
for that if it was urgent, or we would deliver it back to her home.
All the way to Garai?
It's not that far for a carrier pigeon. Plus
Okay.
sand dolphins, so
Okay, thanks. And
the sand
Nope,
dolphin
she
express
turns
is
back
very
around and
popular.
leaves.
Yo.
And back. Above table, I feel like if we could find a restaurant she was at, like, or somewhere she was at just recently, there'd be a chance I could get some leftover thing she left. But-
how recently would that need to be? Like,
I mean, it could be a feather, a tooth, a claw, blood. However, I feel like it needs to be a little more recent with blood. Probably
Yeah.
not like, a couple days old, but
My brain just went, blood. What if we just took Paloma's blood and used that because then
see, I thought
because
about
they
it. And I was
are
like, if,
related.
I
And
thought
so
about that.
technically,
but I was like, if Mason even allowed that, it would be like a DC 30. Like check.
That's not how DNA or blood works.
I know it's not. I'm kidding.
It's okay.
I'm
I
making
know.
a joke.
I know.
Mason, we need to isolate my mitochondria.
It's the powerhouse of the cell.
It's also the most resilient way to hold DNA in the cell.
Owunul doesn't know that.
Owunul doesn't know anything.
Owunul
Owunul
doesn't need to
absolutely
know
knows
that.
that.
Yeah, for
That is the
some
one thing that Owunul does know.
One thing Owunul learned in Paladin school was the
Mitochondria
mitochondria.
is the
powerhouse of
powerhouse
the
of the
cell.
cell.
No. I learned everything about the mitochondria specifically. The rest of the cell, don't even know. What's a fucking endoplasmic reticulum? Don't know. Didn't ask.
What's a nucleus?
Well,
Yep. Okay.
only other thing I could think of is maybe go back to the Skydock or the not airport, Skydock, Skyport. Because Tiger Dude said that they were seen a couple days ago, and I'm assume probably back at the Skydock or Skyport. Fuck, damn it.
He didn't say where they had been seen, right?
But the last time they were seen was 2 weeks ago when they were delivering the package.
No, but he said they were seen a few days ago, but he didn't say where.
Yes, he didn't say where, but my my gold is willing to bet on it being most likely seen somewhere around the Skyport. For them probably checking in on the package, probably hearing that it wasn't delivered, and something of that sort.
Don't know if that's necessarily true.
That's the only other lead I have, unless we just start digging.
I think we
I
need
think-
to maybe meet up with everybody else and combine our knowledge and come up with what to do next.
With our powers combined.
I'll keep an eye out for any criminals. And
We were
see if
formed
we
meant to
can
say
do
this.
any-
No.
Okay, alright.
You're still a few hours off from when you told the group to meet you back. But if you wish to use a chatter crystal to let them know, hey, please meet us back at X location, you absolutely could.
We could. I think the
Or
only
you can go
idea
wait.
is to look into, as said, seeing what you know, the dark side of this city looks like. You know.
Okay.
It's the only other idea.
Go ahead.
Yeah, I'll see if I can find anything. I don't know if would this be part of my like background. Oh no, I don't have the criminal background feature. Never mind.
Oh,
I do not have the criminal background feature. I forgot. I have a different one. What does this one do again?
Mason, did you just roll?
Maybe.
Oh well. Can I do a
Paloma takes
what would I roll to kind of
points?
see if I can figure out where I would be able to find the shadier individuals?
Insight, perception check, Mason.
What the fuck? Quit rolling.
Oopsie. Anyway, Evadin, what were you saying?
What would I need to roll to try to see if I can find kind of like the like shadier area of this place, maybe more like places that would have like more like the criminal background type of deal?
That would be an investigation check, currently, because you don't have any basis for the city itself, so you're just looking around based on your very low-level assumptions, and, you know, infamiliarity with the place.
Okay, I'll do that with guidance.
Oh, okay. Evadin, you want to make an investigation check?
21.
Okay. You think that if you poked your head around some, you know, less crowded areas of the city, you might find something. You also need to, you know, basically asking to trail criminal underbellies of the city, which, to your knowledge, the only criminal activity you've seen has been a robbery of a very low-stakes business. So you definitely need to gather more information before you could make an adequate assumption about where to find a criminal underbelly, if it even existed in the first place. But you'll need to investigate some other places. But that's about all you know.
Well,
You don't
another place
have
to
a general
start
idea.
is going to more less crowded places, but that have inns or bars or taverns. Let's go find the rickety rundown bar that only lowlives like to hang out in.
Okay.
And somewhere less populated. We need more information about the city. If they found anything major, they would have called us by now. And we technically did find good information, but I don't think any that we need to tell them yet.
Okay. Mason,
We
we go
head
find
over-
the seediest bar.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. How very specific I feel. Okay. Nope. Oh, right. Sorry, before you do that, I had to recall why I was rolling a d20 in the first place.
Because someone's following this.
Love you all. As the three of you walk by, you know, the staircase back down into the Korsuk, you kind of branch off onto one of the side streets. It's still a pretty heavily packed roadway, but it, you know, not the Korsuk itself. But there seems to be this wall where there are various smooth indentations. You know, not in any particular fashion, but just the wall isn't perfectly smooth across. It kind of bows and dips, undulates in various places. And as you walk by this, you're trying to find other locations to investigate. Evadin, I need you to. No, actually, I don't need you to make a save. It just happens. You feel a cold stone grip grab onto your right shoulder and pull you into the wall.
Oh.
And you vanish through the sandstone as it almost ripples like water before solidifying again into a wall. Paloma, you turn to look and evidence gone. And Rancor, you feel the presence of Evadin through Ozen is also vanished.
Oh, I've been kidnapped.
Where did
Evicted.
she go?
I can't sense her through the wall at all.
No, it is a
Or
wall.
Ozen can't.
It is a wall.
It's a wall.
Evadin? Yoo-hoo!
Evadin,
I was gonna ask
you
if
find
Tom cast
yourself.
message.
Yeah, Evadin, you find yourself in a space between the inside of the building and the outside, like in the wall itself. And that stone hand, somehow in this sea of stone, has put a hand over your mouth so you cannot speak out. And a simple voice whispers into your ear, "Shh! Do not speak."
Can I get a good look at who has me?
No, there's nothing to see because it's just a shifting interior of a wall, a solid stone wall that you're trapped inside of.
I will tell Rancor to try casting message.
I will try doing that.
Okay.
Evadin? Where the fuck did you go?
There is no response. It does not find purchase.
Even if I would allow like mental messages because of the
Yeah.
It goes through. It can't go through a foot of stone. I'm assuming she's a little deeper than that.
Yep, that'd be correct.
Damn.
How hard is the hand holding me very hard, or is it more of like that type of thing of, hey, don't talk, but I'm not here to like, am I able to do like an insight check on my danger?
Insight check a stone wall.
Danger check.
Yes. Like
you can...
the grip on me type of like,
Right.
you know how like when when you grab someone to shut them up, sometimes you'll grab them more softly if you don't intend harm to them.
Something I do
but
very
sometimes
frequently.
exactly.
Yes, you can certainly try to insight check the stone wall.
Alrighty.
She did to me.
That is going to be a 17.
17. Doesn't seem to be gripping you with the intent to hurt you, but it's definitely hard enough to keep you from moving.
Okay, I will see where this goes.
Yep. Okay.
Is there a bunch of sand on the ground, or is it like mostly cobbled stone?
It's mostly like a cobbled sandstone, almost like sandstone bricks, I should say.
Shit.
Okay, so I guess we should tell everyone that Evadin's gone and to meet up early.
Paloma, you blink, and Rancor is gone.
No, I don't ever blink, Mason.
You blink, and Rancor is gone.
Fuck. Okay, I run away from this fucking wall.
No, I'm not. Am I? What? Am I?
Yeah, you just yoinked into the wall.
I run away from the
People
fucking
stop.
wall.
Paloma, make a dexterity saving throw.
Oh my fucking god.
Also, Mason, I'm so fast.
Oh no.
Please.
But against a wall?
I'm so
But the
fast.
yoink is faster.
But the yoink is faster.
The yoink occurs at 2 times light
cast
speed.
ninth level yoink.
Okay, that's totally fine. 24.
DC 25.
Yeah. You run.
No, I don't get
And only if you activate sonic boom. Can you
Yes.
escape the wall?
Okay.
And you blast into the Korsuk. Just tents and stalls topple over as a gust of wind so strong as sound kind of echoes behind you. Blasted away as you dart through the main marketplace.
So funny.
And you are gone, Paloma.
This bitch just dipped.
The wall is fast, but Big Bird is faster.
Yes.
Bird.
Rancor and
Solver, actually.
Evadin, you find yourself spit out from the wall on whatever is on the other side of it in some kind of dark room. As you tumble across onto the floor. And that's where we'll take our break.
Oh god.
Hell yeah.
Don't go anywhere. We'll be back very shortly. See you in a moment. And welcome back. Last we left off, Paloma darting across the Korsuk. It is not long before you find your companions, Altrix and Owunul, as they are exiting the Skyrise Guild, darting at sonic speed through the city of Pajakin after losing 2 of your friends to a wall.
Hey, what's you look like you're panicking. What's going on there, bud?
So Paloma runs up, and then you get hit by a wave of air.
Yeah. I actually needed the 3 of you to make dexterity saving.
Are you serious?
I'm serious. Yeah.
By the way,
Am I
if you're
affected by
within
the fact that I'm
if
being
you're within
carried?
10 feet of me,
Yeah.
+4 to your save.
That would apply to Altrix and
Dexterity save, huh?
Yeah.
The one time I don't use a luck I'm gonna kill myself.
Not if I do it first.
Sizik
15.
and Altrix. Who's muted?
Oh, wait a minute.
Owens.
Muted.
Oh, wait a minute. Oh, wait a minute. The Ring of Evasion. I have the Ring of Evasion. So, no, I
Owens,
don't.
unmute your microphone.
16 for the 8th time.
He's like, Owens,
So-
come on.
So, first, does a 10 fail? And if it does, I have
Yes.
a reaction to take.
It
Okay,
does.
I'm going to use my Ring of Evasion and succeed
Okay.
instead.
Okay, great. You still take 1 point of damage, so that's all right.
Really?
Yep, 1 point of slashing damage. So
I
the 3
thought
of
this
you-
was the wall guy. You.
No, context clues. Goodness gracious.
She wasn't
This
No,
is what
the
happens
three-
when you pay attention.
The 3 of you take 1 point of magical slashing damage as sound just hits you like a wall. As Paloma stops in front of you at an abrupt halt.
No, never mind. It's not worth saying.
Someone's in a hurry.
Rancor and Evadin are gone. I don't know where they went.
What the
Elaborate?
fuck?
So we were walking
Uh-huh.
along the wall. We were over there, and then Evadin was gone. And
Just gone out of
gone.
nowhere.
No clue where she went. Just turned around, gone. And then I was talking to Rancor, and I was telling him how we should contact y'all, and then he was gone too.
Okay. Evident being gone, that I'd expect, but Rancor doesn't leave without at least saying something.
Show us where they were at when you lost them.
Okay. I will show. Excuse me. Sorry. I will show them.
I'm going to make
And
sure
I'm
that
going to stay. I'm going to stand back from the wall.
Sure.
I feel like we should I don't fucking hold hands or some shit so that we don't fucking disappear. Just our arm on shoulder kind of thing.
Sure. Hold on.
Just in
Sizik,
case.
We're over in this area.
I need you to make a wisdom save.
No. Stop it.
Whiz.
If he's within 10 feet of me, he gets a +4.
He is within 10 feet.
It doesn't matter because I have a -4 from exhaustion.
Yeah.
Well, it does
So-
matter because it cancels out.
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
+0.
A wisdom save.
Actually, it's really good that I'm carrying you around or whatever, because that means that you can just
That's a 19. Holy shit.
Okay. Alright, so you take no damage from them, but the effect's still out there. Your vision, which is accustomed now to kind of overlaying multiple realities and dimensions on top of each other at the same time. That just kind of happens with you. You know, it's fate and everything. But there's a visage that kind of, that's in the wall. That you see kind of the outline of a figure. And it is stretched and distorted and twisting. And it's in pain. There's a sense of pain. As all that hits your frontal cortex is, "Help me, Sizik!" As the voice of Madame Genorum enters your mind, and then it's gone in a flash.
He's awake. He's awake.
I immediately hop off of his shoulders.
Hop off.
Shut up. I will walk up to the wall.
No. Be careful.
And I will cast Dispel Magic.
Okay. At what level?
Oh no!
I'll use my only one of 2 4th level spell slots, which is the highest I can go.
I'm gonna make sure to have my hand on his shoulder just in case something happens.
Yeah.
I need you to roll an Arcana check.
Guidance?
No, not to this.
Okay. Arcana. What's my Arcana mod? Okay, so it'll be +0.
How sad.
Yeah, +0 because of exhaustion.
I guess the minus. Yeah.
Am going to use my inspiration for advantage because.
Okay.
Yes.
Whoa.
Okay, glad I did that. That's a 18.
18. Okay. You cast a spell magic, and you're almost fighting whatever arcane force is contained within the wall. There's this. It's like you're in a magical arm wrestle, and both of you are pushing back with an equivocal force. Before you just barely push through, and the spell makes contact with the wall, and immediately it just liquefies into sand, and drops and spills out into the walkway that you're in. And amidst that is the bodies of Evadin and Rancor.
Sorry, are they dead?
Maybe.
Are they conscious?
Okay.
Okay.
They are conscious and not dead.
Help! I'm dead.
Such a nonchalant reaction. Help! I'm died.
What the fuck?
I assume it's no longer an active spell going on with the sand, so I can't do spell signature on this anymore.
That would be correct.
Okay.
I'm gonna dig around in the sand a little bit to see if Janorum's there.
You kind of sift through the sand. No Janor.
What the?
Maybe the Janorm with the friends they made along the way.
That was an interesting experience, to say the least.
What was that about?
Altrix, make a perception check.
Okay. Why me?
There's another wall.
Another wall behind you. Paloma's gone.
There are
It's
3
like
more
that hit
walls.
show, the wall, where you have
There's a
to.
wall walking towards
Okay,
you.
not bad. 15.
Where there's a
15.
wall, there's a way.
You kind of, watching Sizik, kind of quickly realizing that it's a lot of sand, though. The sand begins to just very, very minor, just little sparks, kind of connecting between each grain. It's almost microscopic. As you watch them slowly, the sand, now almost liquefied, kind of pulls back towards the wall and begins to slowly begin rebuilding itself upward. But it's very
Everyone
slowly.
clear.
Huh?
Just kind of grabbing people, pulling them out where the wall was.
Okay, you pull everyone back, including Evadin and Rancor, and that very slow recession turns into a, and the wall just reforms on the side of the building.
What?
Cover me, if you would. And I will
From what?
go to cast a spell signature. Takes
Okay.
10 minutes.
10 minutes of just standing there. Ooh,
Uh,
the wall!
Wow.
You know, I'm just pulling out arcane instruments and whatnot as
Yeah.
I...
While
Sure.
he's casting it, I would like to tell everyone what we found.
Okay. All of you fill each other up.
I would also like to try and cast message in the general direction I saw Madame Janorum's existence
In the wall.
in the wall.
In the wall.
The one
It
you
does
just-
not find purchase, though.
What?
Huh.
What's up?
That's
Sizik?
crazy.
I saw Madame Genorum in Wall.
You saw her in the wall?
Mason, quick question.
Yes.
Yes.
Did I recognize the voice that was saying stuff to me? The
Yes.
sound.
Thinking back, it was the voice of Madame Genorum just whispering. But it was in agony, and you do recall that.
Y'all, I think the wall is Madame Genorum.
Like the wall itself. The thing inside the wall that keeps pulling our friends inside, apparently.
Yes.
Well-
I think it's Madame Genorum.
I will see about that.
Huh.
Wait, no, I appreciate it if Miss Walgenorum didn't shove me. I'm not gonna finish that sentence.
Not a
I'll-
wall.
Necessarily.
I don't think that she is a wall on her own choice.
Man, imagine casting True Polymorph just to become a wall.
How
What a
does
life that
one
would be.
wall someone?
Get walled, idiot.
Chick.
Because that was my idea, and she just reformed.
Huh.
Does anybody have
Um,
any ideas on how to unwall a person?
Does
Let's
anyone have any way
wait
to
see what the
contact
spell
Mox?
signature. See what happens with the spell signature.
No, we still need
Man,
a stone.
I mean, we
there are
we haven't
times-
seen Mox since this morning.
No.
There are
he said
times
he
when
was
I
gonna go try and
wonder-
find Madame Genorum, and now we found her, and she's a wall. Apparently.
There are times I wonder why I wasn't a paladin pledged to one of like the knowledge gods or something.
Hey,
No, we know
Mason.
why, Owunul.
Mason. Mason, how
Yes,
many
Evadin.
how many Dragonborns are there in the city that we've seen?
I've seen a couple. Again, not super pertinent, but definitely.
So if I were to send Crow to look for
A gold dragonborn, yeah, you'd probably be able to find one.
cool. I will summon Crow and be like, I'm gonna send Crow to get him.
Okay. Call.
Mm-hmm.
Sure. All right. After 10 minutes, though. Oh, go ahead.
You know what's been missing from our handy
No.
little adventure here?
No,
Don't-
Get ready to
no,
cast
yeah.
counterspell. Get ready to
No.
cast counterspell.
All right. So Altrix, after the 10 minutes.
What the fuck do you mean? I'm gonna
No.
cast Fine Steed.
I will
Yeah,
counterspell you.
I'll do it
I-
again.
I'll also counterspell you. No.
You can't. You're the
Altrix-
The
DM.
wall counterspells you.
actually,
That I in fact can.
yeah, true.
Let me have my
Altrix-
fucking
Banished.
horse, you jackass.
Altrix,
banished.
it is at the end of 10 minutes. Please, you are not familiar with the creature, at least from the effect that.
Mason, that last part cut out.
Oh yes, please make that ability check.
Okay.
Can I
is it
give
just
guidance to that?
Arcana?
No, this is a just a spell roll.
Yeah, spellcasting ability plus proficiency. So okay, yeah, so plus.
Alright.
Actually,
sure, I
hold
was
on.
just asking if there was a way.
Let me double check.
Totally fine.
It does change because it's a sorcerer spell. It's an out one.
Oh,
You said,
God.
wait, you said, it was
actually-
you said it was Arcana, right?
Yes.
No.
I mean, it's an ability check with spellcasting modifier.
It,
It's less of an
it's,
arcana
a,
check.
it's a spellcasting modifier check. It's not Arcana technically.
Right.
Oh.
And that
It's
is
arcane in nature.
it's
natural
a
one.
nat one. I can't
Right.
use.
You
I've already rolled. I
uh,
can't use inspiration.
Yeah, you know nothing about about.
I will spend another
walls.
10 minutes casting it again.
Okay. Well, while you do that, Crow, flying kind of over, before spotting a gold dragonborn, seems to have spotted incoming ship that seems to have some regal importance to it. Agents. Looks very important, for sure.
Mm-hmm.
And kind of comes back to report that to you before being able.
It does. Okay. I mean, Crow can mentally tell me that.
Yes, within 100 feet.
It's not. Okay. So it's gonna flies by and
Yes.
it reports it, then keeps looking.
Right.
Hmm.
Reports that
Airship.
whoever, because it takes a while. Crow kind of waits, while Altrix is casting 20 minutes worth of spells in this time period. Comes back to tell you that there's an incoming airship. That airship has docked, and there are people that are offloading that look important, and are headed your way.
I will inform the rest of the group. Did a Crow happen to get a good look at the people at all?
Describes them all as well-dressed, probably magical in nature. Very much has like the wizard robe look to them. But particularly one individual was of note. And Crow describes it as a head. But again, trying to give you in Crow's level of intelligence. It describes it as a skull.
Oh. Can I do a history or a religion check to see if that sounds?
Sure.
Probably
you tell me
history
which one
would be. I think history would be more appropriate
History?
for this.
Sure.
Religion
totally
would be the one I'd want to do, but history I think is more
Death.
appropriate.
All right, we're
Death
finding
itself.
didactic.
I'll use
Death
guidance.
itself is coming forward.
That is going to be a 15.
15. No, doesn't really ring any bells. Unfortunately.
I will. I'm gonna be like, okay, I'm gonna step back and be like, all right, y'all. I'm gonna sit down for a second. Check out that airship. I'm gonna have Crow fly actually over to the airship again and see where the people are, so I can I can get an actual look at them.
Yeah, totally.
And I'm gonna use my vision thing to look through Crow's eyes.
Okay. Sure. Yeah, you see a purple robed individual. But where there should be a head, it is just a skull that is marching, kind of surrounded by these other wizard-looking individuals. And they seem to be using some kind of arcane device that seems to be twitching, and it keeps readjusting itself, almost like a compass. It keeps readjusting itself in your general direction, towards the wall.
Do I happen to recognize them now that I've gone to like a look at them?
No, you've never seen this person before.
Okay.
No clue.
I will I will unwatch from
Okay.
Crow, and I will tell Crow, I will command Crow to, go find Dragonborn.
Okay.
And then I will come back to them and be like, y'all, I think someone is here and coming towards us, looking, and my guess is for Madame Genorum. Some guy in like some like purple robed skeleton. They look very regal.
Well,
like a
I
bunch of
just need
wizards.
some more time.
Can I get an estimate of how much time we probably have?
They were walking at a very brisk pace, like they were determined or on a mission.
They look super
5
magical.
minutes. Yeah, very magical. 5 minutes at best.
Maybe
5 minutes.
Maybe they
Yeah,
can
maybe
help.
After you come back.
How
I
long
mean,
till I
you-
finish my thing?
You would be able to finish it right as they are arriving.
I could try to talk to them and slow them down.
I want to try something.
Actually, you know what?
Moat of hell. No, I'm kidding.
That's actually not a bad idea, Owunul.
I mean, if anyone's gonna get like hit with a trap or whatever, it might as well be me.
I only need y'all to buy me a minute at most.
Okay, sure. I'm gonna go. Actually, what direction are they?
They are coming from the Zakaran Reach, which is to the southwest of the city, and you are all kind of to the northeast, but barely away from the Korsuk, so barely halfway through the city.
Evadin, I may need your help on this. I need to know if he changes course, so you may need to go with me, so that you can tell me what Crow sees.
I sent Crow to find try to see if he could find Crow could find
The dude?
Mox.
the dude, yeah. Mox,
The golden
yes.
dragonborn dude? Okay, so we don't have Crow with us. Okay. Cool. I will cast Find Steed.
Okay.
Like,
He
for
won't
real this
stop
time.
Like,
yeah, we
for
won't
real.
stop.
Cricket appears and gets eaten by the wall.
He ate too many squirrels.
There's always the
They
bigger
called
fish.
in the wall
Wait, did it
hitman to
actually
kill
get
him.
eaten by the wall?
Yep. Gone.
Fine, fuck you. I cast
He
Find
didn't.
Steed
He
again.
didn't die. He's still present, just not on this. Not in front
Just
of you.
go, Owunul.
Actually,
Just go. We'll get your
so
horses.
actually, question. We can communicate telepathically within 1 mile. So,
Yep.
can we communicate telepathically now?
No.
Great, I'm casting Find Steed again, using a spell slot this time, because you are determined to...
You might want to walk
cast
away from the
away.
wall first.
It gets eaten
Yes.
by the wall again.
No, I walked away...
Just do it again. Walk away and do it again this
I know.
time.
I cannot describe the unfathomable rage within me
Go.
right now.
Just go.
Just go.
You need
know
to
what the
just you need to
definition-
buy us a minute.
In the definition
I'm
of
going to
insanity
walk
is-
away from the wall.
There you go. Attempting the
And
same
then
thing
waste
twice
some
and expecting
more.
different results. Yep.
And then away a little bit more.
Okay. You trip over a small child.
I don't care. Find Steed.
You don't care. You tripped over a small child.
The child eats the steed.
The child...
Or worse, the steed eats the child.
Yep.
I would argue the first
kid
one is
starts
worse, but
crying.
what do I know?
Yeah, the child is crying now.
Okay, I'm going to run off in the. I'm going to get on Cricket and ride off in the direction of the person who is trying to approach us to see if I can either assess their intentions or stall them if they have,
Sure.
The less-
The mother of the small child comes rushing up with like a coin
Oh my
purse and
fucking god!
slaps the back of Cricket. You bastard!
Ah, good, a speed boost. Thank you.
Wow. Okay.
What do you expect was gonna happen? You think I'm just gonna?
What is
react
your-
to
What's your
Owunul's
alignment?
Villain arc.
What's your alignment?
Owunul's- Okay.
my alignment?
Yep.
Mason.
What do you mean? What's my alignment? My alignment was always.
I
lawful
mean,
good.
I
do you
mean, what is your alignment, Riley?
It's lawful good right now.
Okay, it is now lawful neutral.
No.
It shifts down a tier.
Okay.
Shifts
alright,
across.
Sure.
And you definitely sense somewhere in the ether of the divine realms beyond that has had an impact on something.
I'm going to ride off in the direction that I think the person was coming from, according to evidence directions, and I'm going to try to
Yes.
find them, and we'll go from there.
Sure. You make it.
Given I'm on Cricket, probably faster.
Yeah, I'll say you make it a minute and a half or so. So definitely through the Korsuk, like you're headed towards the car and reach. It takes a while to kind of maneuver through the market stalls itself. But you make it past the Korsuk and into kind of a main road that leads down to this car and reach, where you basically come into a standoff against this group of 6 wizards and this
Oh, there are 6 of them.
noble individual that seems to be walking forth holding this device. And when they get within 30 feet of you, can I help you? And does not stop walking, just keeps walking towards you.
Yes, I want to know what you seem like you're on your way to somewhere as important. May I ask what it is you're trying to do?
That's none of your business. Please move out of my way.
I would argue that it is.
Dispel magic. Cricket disappears.
I cast
and it can-
Find Speed again. You can't stop me.
Counterspell and walks right past you. And the 6 mages just, again, do not pay any mind to you, just continue walking.
I mean, you burned at least 1 third level spell slot, so good job.
No, well, one of their 3rd level, one of my 2nd level.
That's an up trade.
and they enter into the Korsuk.
Could you? No, I would argue that it does if it pertains to, Madame Genorum, perchance.
You watch as the skull fellow raises a hand up, stops in their tracks, turns around and looks right at you. Again, there's no eyes, it's just eye socket, and goes, "Your business with my wife is not important," and slams you into the wall, and you feel yourself tumble into a different reality. Just, I need you to make a charisma save.
You want me to make a charisma saving throw?
I asked, did I not?
You want okay, all right.
You still, I would say boast. You still have a very good chance to roll terribly.
Right, so that's why we're going to use a luck point, because I don't trust my dice. I would roll a 1 otherwise.
So as I'm understanding, Maginorum really likes getting boned.
Wow.
Okay, you need to shut the fuck up.
I mean,
Absolutely
to be fair,
awful.
I don't know if this guy has anything.
First of all, that is a 30 to save.
30 to save. Okay. So instead of tumbling into another reality, did you roll a natural 20?
No, I rolled a 19 and I have a plus 11 to my charisma save.
Nice.
Fair enough. Very nice. Okay. Instead of tumbling into different realities, however, you just slam up against one of the sandstone buildings, and then tumble back down again. You only take half damage, and avoid all of the psychic. That's okay.
I'm about to start acting the fuck up, I swear to God.
That is 20 points of bludgeoning damage. Could have been 40.
Don't care, didn't ask.
That's okay. And turns around and continues to walk with the 6 mages.
Can I do something?
You have not set eyes on them yet. But Evadin, Crow's off elsewhere, but you have watched Owunul get absolutely, pushed to the side, both literally and figuratively. And these people do not bat an eye at this.
Y'all. Owunul's not going to distract them.
Are you chatter crystalling?
No,
I'm
she's
next
there
to
with
them.
us.
I fucking
I
tried.
thought you went with
no.
Owunul.
No.
No.
she went through his
Oh,
body.
okay. Oh, God. Well,
Because, no,
You
I
went through-
was
Oh, never mind.
going
Then
to...
I guess I wouldn't seen it then.
okay, you didn't.
That's
see
why
that.
I was a little
Never
confused.
mind.
I was like, oh, I guess you're
Sorry,
just letting
I
us
thought
do it
you
then.
were there. My apologies.
No,
My bad.
no, no.
Okay. Never mind. You don't know any of that.
Yeah, I was like,
but I am gonna use the chatter crystal and say, hey, guys, they aren't slowing down, and I'm not distracting them. I tried.
Yep. Fair
I
enough.
will.
Okay,
Can I use
what are
it?
y'all doing in the meantime?
You guys have about 2 minutes or so. Also, that's about how much
Perfect.
time is left on your spell signature.
Yep.
By the way,
what's that spell gonna do?
Guess what? Find Steed again.
That's fine.
Jesus.
I'm
Let
not
me
turning
have
around.
my goddamn horse.
Nathan.
That is the one
Yeah.
thing I have in this world.
Can I
I'm not
use
turning
the-
around to counterspell it again.
I was like, should I ask? Do you think he got
Nathan.
any information?
Yes.
No, he would have
Cool.
said. He would if he
I
had gotten
want
any
to
information,
cast
he
a
would have
spell.
said it in the chatter.
I'm sorry, Cole. Can you say that again?
Oh.
I want to cast a spell.
Dispel magic on the wall again?
No, I want to cast a spell. But not
a
dispel
spell. Okay.
magic.
Go ahead. What spell would you like to cast?
I am going to walk up to the wall, place my hand against it, and cast Mind of the Fate Linked.
Okay. Now, I know that I wrote this spell, but can you please describe what happened for all of us?
Yeah, so basically I kind of touch the wall, and that kind of silvery outline that usually is kind of around my body then sort of moves and focuses into my, well, not fingertips, but like the ends of my paws, and then sort of almost turns into like tendrils as they reach into the wall, passing through it and sort of almost going inside. And if anybody kind of looks around, you see that my eyes are just sort of glowing a golden color as I am now becoming I'm linking my mind with Madame Genorum's.
You may ask one of those 3 questions. And you can do it out loud so that everyone knows what you're asking.
Well, I mostly just want to communicate with her.
Right. Yes. So you're targeting the mind, and you feel it connect. Although it seems that the spell is stretching far further to connect with Madame Genorum than it should have to if she was just inside the wall. There's definitely something else at play. But still, you can ask a question as part of the spell.
A question. I get
Yeah,
a
one
question.
of those. Yeah, one of those 3.
Oh, so I can't communicate with her normally.
It's more of a sense when you're communicating. It's less of a direct conversation.
Okay, because I was reading this. This says while connected, you can communicate telepathically with the target as long as the spell
Yes.
remains active.
Yes.
Okay. If I get a sense, then do I get a sense of how to help, or maybe what we can do?
There's a sense of fear, and also pain, and not the I've been stung by a bee type pain, but more of.
Don't talk to me about bees.
I know, that's exactly why I said it. But more of a excruciating, on the edge of death, type of pain that is being transmitted. That like pulsing, deep system shock type of pain. Just that agony crying out. And there are normally, like you said, words that you ascertain from the spell, but because it's stretched so far, you almost feel like it's crossing over into something. Like you're not on the material realm anymore, by tapping through this wall. And so that, what normally would be verbal communication becomes just this emotional shift.
Okay. For me, I guess out of those 3, I want to know what is her greatest regret.
Okay. There's not a
Hiring you.
verbal, no, not a verbal response, but a feeling that the deepest pain of Madame Genorum's life is a memory that she can't remember. She feels it's there in her mind, can't figure out what it is. She knows that there's a sorrow attached to it, there's pain attached to it, there's a longing for her connection, but cannot remember when, to whom, what. It's just darkness.
Okay. All right. I sort of come back to.
Okay. The tendrils rescind back to the material plane.
That is weird feeling. Okay. I don't think that she is actually here in Wall. I believe that she is trying to communicate to us through this. I believe that she might be stuck in whatever plane exists in between places when you teleport. I think that is maybe what is happening, and I have no idea how to get her out.
Then who created this? Because if it was her, I would know already.
I don't know. Maybe whoever it was that gives mortal people the ability to teleport.
Quick question:
Or
if it
the
was
space in
wild
between?
magic, would it ping as her? Asking Altrix, because Altrix would know probably
Okay.
better.
If it came from her, it would.
Mhm.
Everyone has a fingerprint they leave on their magic.
Mhm. What if it's not her?
It's not.
What if it's something? What if? Could she be cursed by somebody? Maybe something to do with the artifact.
Well-
She's also cursed?
Let's
You're
find
cursed.
out.
I'm cursed. We're all cursed.
Is there anybody here who isn't cursed?
Someone wants to
you,
go
a curse for
tracking our
you.
Scully.
In any case,
Hey,
I'm just
old
about
fellow.
done, but they are almost here. I need y'all to buy me time.
Well,
What are we
How?
supposed to?
oh, without attacking them, I don't see how we're going to stop them or slow them
I
down.
don't know, crash a cart, block the road, something.
You've got about
What if
1
we are
minute
here
left.
to help?
If the 8-foot man couldn't stop them, what's a cart gonna do?
Okay, he's
What
like
if they are here to
6'2",
help?
and
We don't know who they are. What if they are helpful? Huh?
Owunul will try to ride back faster
Yeah.
than the other
Wait, can
people,
I-
by the way.
Can Rancor
Okay.
try and think like what he knows of any skeletal undead creatures or beings? Like, are they typically bad? Can they be good? Like,
Rancor, cast your
Uh,
darkness that nobody but you can see through.
Make
I can't see.
a Rancor. You can either do a nature or religion check.
nature or religion?
Jake, don't say anything.
You see,
I
see,
see-
you know
I see
what
them
I
clicking. I
You
see it
see,
clicking.
I know it clicks.
Uh huh. Mm-hmm.
It's the same either way. Would you let me do guidance on this or no?
I will let you.
And just because I'm not confident in my abilities, I will use my inspiration to
Okay.
give me advantage.
Quick, Ozan, research undead. Go, go, go. 30 seconds.
We have found one.
One.
One result
One.
in
Unread
42 seconds.
message.
All right, that plus.
Instead of saying "Okay, Google," you say "Okay, Ozan."
That's a 19 total.
A 19. Generally, in your experience, and your knowledge, and aided by Ozan, undead are typically bad.
And this,
As the circle of life is life to death, it is not supposed to continue beyond that.
and we know that it is approaching rapidly.
Yes.
Wait, undead.
Alright.
Hmm.
Ozit says
Can I?
undead people bad. So It's
You
approaching
cannot
quick.
always assume the worst.
Can I do a
they're approaching very quickly. We don't have time to negotiate. Clearly, they want to talk to Owunul. So either we run for it, or we maybe attack and slow them down. I don't know.
Well,
Unless-
I don't think attacking these people would be beneficial to our health.
Well, I don't know what they want with Janora. She's got kind of a target on her head, so who knows what could
Why
happen.
don't we just wait and see what happens? You cannot assume worse than
Because by that point, it might be too late.
even if we stop and try to attack them, we die no matter what. I say we at least figure out what they want first.
Altrix, how long on your
they
spell?
are seemingly after Madame Janorum. I think the best thing we don't
Just
want to
about done.
I think if
As-
a couple of us go and distract him right now.
As rounding the corner down this side street at the core soup, you can see these 7 individuals step around the corner. Altrix, as he says, "I'm just about done." They are about 300 feet away from you. And
Okay.
Can I do an insight check now that they're coming around the corner of their? Is there a way to check an alignment of somebody?
with certain abilities, yes, but a general insight check usually does not yield results.
Hmm. But okay, so I guess actually what I would ask is, can I do an insight check? I know it's gonna be hard, obviously, because it's a skeleton. Doing an insight check on the skeleton guy to see what type of demeanor he's looking for this person, because sometimes whenever it's kind of the type of thing of like, they can get some intentions from how they're looking for this person. Do they have bad intentions, good intentions from
Sure.
like kind of
So
how?
an insight check.
Yeah.
And,
Yes, it's an insight check.
If that is something that I would be able to, I know it's an insight check. I was asking
Yeah.
like if there was something like if that is
Yeah, I'll allow
something
it.
I could do.
I will say, given just the nature of the situation, because you're acting quickly, it's tense, you're kind of acting not necessarily out of fear, but just out of urgency, I will give you disadvantage on this roll.
Okay.
But you do,
I
you
will
make an
use
check.
my I'm going to use. Wait, do I want to use that? No. It's insight. Can I use guidance?
Sure.
Okay. I will
What
roll
could it hurt?
disadvantage.
As they're approaching, I would like to hold an action.
Okay. Ooh,
Okay, for
unfortunate.
what?
I shouldn't have. That would have been a nat 20.
If
But
shit goes bad,
Okay.
so that is going
And
to
what is
be
your
a
held action?
Do we have any idea how difficult this would be with the skull, or do I? Because I got a good
No,
number.
You have no
Like-
idea.
Yeah, I've got a good number, but it's not I could get a higher number if I add my inspiration that I have.
That is up to you if you'd like to, but you do not know the difference.
Okay, Mason, I'm going to say. Can I say the number to the rest of the group to ask for if I should or shouldn't, or without you telling me the answer? Is that okay?
Sure, I'll deafen myself.
Okay, I got a 20. It's
Just
good, but
I
it is a
don't thi-
skeleton who
I-
is.
I think the odds of your inspiration putting it up to like that next level is low.
Oh, someone's gonna have to tell
It's-
me when they're ready. Sorry.
We will. It is. Yeah, I think because usually it's 25 is what my guess is going to be a 25.
Yeah.
And so
I
I'd have to
think
roll
you
a
should hold on
5
to
or
it.
higher to get it above.
Odds favor
I
that.
think you should just hold on to it.
why is he muting himself?
So he doesn't hear the number.
Oh,
I will note for me. Yeah, you can go ahead, yeah. All right, I won't use it. I'm just gonna take my dirty 20.
Okay, 2020. You don't get an overwhelming sense of a negative intention, but definitely a serious one is the first thing, and a neutral tone. More of uncertainty, but not necessarily evil,
Nothing
but-
evil, but
but not necessarily good either.
We take those.
They take those.
Let us just talk to Scary Man
thereafter.
before anything.
That's what I was thinking.
As Sizik makes a very loud and audible gulp sound.
I mean, so it's quickly. Does anyone want to do the talking?
Rancor's holding an action. I know that.
I
Paloma,
vote
what
aye.
are you holding?
I guess. I don't know what action
Okay.
I'd hold.
I don't know. Rancor is just holding in case something goes bad.
An ambiguous action.
Yes.
Because clearly this
Ambiguous
person
if it
is
goes
coming
bad.
after Madame
Holding the
Janorum.
action.
Yeah, take
Clearly
the
this
action.
person is
Action.
going after them. So I'm going
I
to.
have to hold a bonus action as my action.
I mean, I've got fairly good persuasion, so
I have
So
a
I'm gonna
plus
talk to him.
4 to persuasion, and I cannot get lower than a 10 unless I roll on that one.
You know, I think I should do the talking since I have a -1.
no.
Since I'm Ambassador Pata, I think I'll do the talking.
I think
I
I,
will
should
not-
do the talking
I-
because I
I will say
have the best connection.
I don't think I should, as a
Give a
player,
minus
do the
4
talking.
to everything.
I don't think I, as a
Yes,
player, should do the
that's
talking
if I'm trying
because
to
of
hide
reasons I'm not going to say. Mason knows what I'm thinking.
Yep. So, Sizik, it sounds like you want to do it. Evident,
Yes.
kind of back.
All right.
Since I kind
Now,
of have-
Owunul, you are rounding the corner. I'll get to you in just a second. But Altrix, you finish up your spell signature right before whatever interaction's about to happen takes place. So,
I'm gonna use my inspiration on this.
okay. Like,
Hey, I don't want to roll that one again.
rolls 2 natural ones.
This is
Hey,
why everybody
if
needs
if
the
that
lucky
happens, it's what meant to happen. All right, I get a +7.
You were never meant to know.
Okay, so that's a 26.
I've got a dog.
Nice.
Dog? Doge?
feet.
Okay,
Doge? Where?
so that's a 26.
Okay.
I get the following. Number 1, if the creature has a class, I learn what it is.
Does not have a class.
Okay, I learned the type of creature that created the magical effect.
Creature did not create this magical.
A creature did not?
Did not create this magical. That is correct.
Bruh.
Well, that kind of burns the rest, which is I learned if the creature is affiliated with an organization, and I learned the name of the creature.
Okay. Yeah. No and no.
Its name is Borandus.
Yes. No. Unfortunately, it is. I won't waste your 20 seconds. You have a feeling that this is one of those freak accidents of nature, and Madame Genorm didn't create the effect, nor did anyone intend to imprison her here. It just so happened that when the teleport spell misfired, she got lodged in a place that wasn't fully on the material plane. That's what it's feeling like. That's the signature that it's leaving behind. Definitely planar magic, kind of in that sense, but that's about all. Yeah,
All right.
I don't know if that's helpful, but okay. Owunul, you come rounding the corner. Now you have 6 seconds before Sizik speaks. And I will be honest, what you decide to do here can absolutely gravely impact the outcome of that conversation.
I hate the universe, and the universe hates me too.
So, are you doing...
What?
Are you doing anything?
Bracing for whatever the fuck's about to happen. Because clearly there ain't no persuading these motherfuckers.
Okay.
And clearly
so
they're just gonna...
You're not going to speak, okay.
Yeah, no.
Okay.
I've seen that speaking does nothing, so...
Okay.
I'm crazy, but I'm not insane. Like, come on.
Sure. Okay. Sizik, you approach these 7 robed individuals. Generally human, half-elf, elf, just a mixture, and then the skeletanoid.
And you said that he's wearing very regal-looking clothes.
Yeah, they're all wearing very nice robes.
Yeah.
But
I have a general sense of what to do with royalty, so I give like kind of a quick bow.
Sure.
Excuse me.
Step aside.
You are making way to over here, so I assume you'll know what is or who is here. Yes. Ms. Genorum.
What do you know about Cleo?
We are friends. I was unable to talk with her, but I did have a sort of a connection a few moments ago. Wondering why exactly you are making such hasty movements this way to her.
Maybe
Where
it's
is
because
she?
she's stuck in a wall.
I don't know exactly. I feel as if she might be stuck in between. We made an attempt to teleport as she is helping us, and we are helping her with some work stuff. And I think that something happened. We all got separated. Some of us were in desert, some of us were in water. It was very weird. I saw her kind of in wall, but also not in wall, and then I did a spell to try and communicate with her, but she feels very far, so I think she is stuck in between wherever teleport brings you when you are between here and there. Does that make sense?
Yes, we'll take care of it. How did you get her out of the stasis?
Out of what?
The stasis. How did you remove her from the stasis?
What stasis?
She was in stasis for decades. How did you get her out?
I don't understand. She's been active like a normal person since I've
Yeah,
known her.
we didn't think she was in stasis.
Shut up, Owunul.
What? I'm helping.
You're shouting over shoulders.
It's not hard to shout when your shoulders are shout over your shoulders when your shoulders are 3 feet fucking high.
Riley.
What? One of the mages turns around. Not the main. One of them turns around, recognizing you from earlier. and does seem to be preparing a spell to cast if you try anything funny.
Oh, come the
Sir,
fuck
please do
on.
not
I'm
mind him. He is
harmless.
just very dumb.
Once again, I'll ask you to step aside, and then he motions for the other 5 mages with him. Take them all.
What?
Did you
Pulling a
move your
spike out the
brains
wall.
into the mind?
I will approach.
And-
I do think it is pertinent to note, according to all known current understanding of science, Janorum should be dead, but is not. So I do think that is important to note. Yes, you are correct, Sizik. She is currently not on a dimension of physical space. In fact, it seems that she is somehow trapped in a dimension that is not space. You see, there's many different types of dimensions, time and all sorts of stuff. And I've dabbled with dimensions before, and you have to be very careful not to end up in a non-spatial dimension. And it appears that she has, which again should immediately make you, I guess, not dead, but more so non-existent. But that does not seem to be the case. So, good news, I think.
I'll have further questions for all of you once we have our safe house.
And you are?
Oh, right. That's Madame Janorum's husband. Or something.
Sigilcaster Trillin of the OTS.
Mason,
Oh.
Who what?
Oh,
If
wait
I-
a minute.
if I may, when
You
we were
son of a bitch.
back with Madame Janorum, and I opened up her diary,
Uh-huh.
or her spell book.
Yeah.
Did it make any mention of a husband?
There was, what you can recall, a list of pages. It's just I can't remember. I don't remember. I don't remember. I can't remember. And you do occasionally recall seeing, was I married? Was I in a relationship? Followed by I can't remember. I don't remember. And then there's I long for the one, but I can't remember. And they're just those lines over and over again. And at that point, you didn't pay any notion to it because it was probably the workings of a mad woman, absolutely deranged by whatever spell was consuming her from the inside. But now you're putting the pieces together that maybe she wasn't crazy. Maybe there was some event in her past that has twisted and distorted her mind, and now she is existing in a time period that she shouldn't exist, and it is overlaying memories, new memories and old memories, having a hard time sorting out the real ones from which life she's living. But again, I'll ask you to step aside, and the 5 mages begin to walk up and are preparing to cast spells on all of you. I will give you all 1 round. You may do whatever you wish, but after that, things are going to get very serious.
Hey, we don't have no more business here. I'll step out the way.
Can I do? Obviously, of course, I know this is the truth, but can I? Evadin would do an insight check.
Sure.
That's going to be. Oh, that's actually pretty good. That's a 22.
22.
With the
There
idea
is a twinge of reaction, kind of processing all of this as it's happening. Definitely in shock, but also with determination to find her. And definitely get the feeling that this is someone that would go to the ends of any plane of existence to find the person that he cared about. But you also catch the shimmer of a ring on his finger. Seems to be blocking, pushing any into his. So that's that.
Okay. I'll step aside as well, but I won't say anything.
Very well.
Alright, I back away. But kind of just put a finger out to the mage walking up to me. Don't touch me with magic. Don't.
Right. And he walks up to the wall, casts plane shift on it, and then just leans into it and just it's gone. Leaving you all and 6 mages.
See, I told you guys you shouldn't
Do we?
always judge.
Well,
There's a difference between judging and being cautious.
again, I don't know if there's anything else we can really do here, or if we have any more things to discuss.
I want to quickly cast message on Altrix. Or 2 Altrix. I think I know what he meant by stasis, but I don't know if I should tell him about that.
I can respond to message.
Mhm.
Ignorance is a great tool. So I'll respond.
One of the mages steps forward. Sorry, just protocol. And cast time stop. And after a number of rounds pass, you are all in handcuffs, magical handcuffs, and are no longer in that alleyway with that wall. You are somewhere else.
Well, that's not nice.
I said, don't cast magic on me.
What?
And you
They're
are all
wizards,
in a
that's all they're
you're
gonna
in
do.
a room. You see the aftermath of a teleportation circle that is flickering down after teleportation circle has been cast to reach that destination.
Did I feel my
mean-
connection with did I feel anything with Crow go away or anything like that? Like if Crow disappeared or if Crow is
nope.
still out there.
Still out there somewhere.
Cool. Okay. That's fine.
We still have all our belongings and whatnot.
You do. Yeah, your belongings are still with you. And you're all asked by one of the mages to sit down.
I'll sit
Huh?
down.
Not like we're in a better situation.
Yeah, I'll go sit
You're
down.
not going to kill us, right? We didn't do anything wrong.
I think if
Can
they
I
were going to kill us,
do-
they would have done so already.
Some sort of like investigation check on just kind of the surrounding area.
You
Try
are
to figure out where
in a
we are.
room. In a room, there is a door. From your general perception, you are in some safe location. Kind of feels like you're underground by adjustment to the change, but that might just be a change in elevation in general. But that is probably all you'll ascertain anyway.
In regards to like the construction of the room, any like hints like are we still in Pajakin or whatnot?
Does feels different. Feels like you are in. First of all, it feels different, but also the walls are made of a natural white colored stone, almost like a limestone, instead of a sandstone. So it
Gotcha.
what you were used to. Yes. And one of the mages opens the door. Again, hasn't said a word to any of you after gesturing for you to sit down. Opens the door. Someone call for the chief archivist. And another mage right outside, voice saying, I'll get Fulari. Sorry, I'll get Zoe.
Valaria.
And a good-looking individual, not quite of the station that the man you encountered himself as Trillin was, but definitely someone of very high importance, steps into the room and sits down. So, with a large tome from their robe to write, "Tell me everything."
What do you mean?
Start from the beginning.
It all started
My
on the
mom-
day of my birth.
Both of my
I was gonna
parents
say,
failed to show up.
Beginning could mean many things. What beginning exactly?
Beginning of what?
Because I would rather not go into my childhood. It makes me sad.
Do you mean when we met Madame Janorum, or?
That'd be a good start.
Okay.
So you all don't have to actually tell me out loud, because I know you all know the story. But tell me what extent do you go in filling in the?
I think we should omit the stuff with Binds of Rhyme and her touching the book or trying to identify it. And that
I'll
whole
admit
thing.
Akadon. All my personal stuff with Mox. I'll simply... I guess we'll start with... We had just arrived in Provenere. As we were newcomers, we did a real quick job for the Red Shielders. And that led us to getting a referral to Madame Janor. At which point,
Okay.
they hired us to do investigation amongst the other council members.
Okay.
I would culminated with the attack on Provenere. We stopped that, went to Oshivester Hydroxyl to further investigate, shut down further operations of the attackers, returned to Provenere. From there, teleported with Amjanorum and Mox Flynn to Pickle Pines, and then from Pickle Pines to here, where we lost contact with her.
Okay. Anybody else have their version of the story?
No.
Pretty much the same.
Our versions are the same.
Yeah.
Okay. Anybody else want to omit any important pieces of information?
The only important stuff I can think of is the lines of rhyme and book stuff.
Binds
We
of
all
Rhyme
think-
book, Akadon.
Well, he said. I thought Owen said he was going to mention that.
Oh.
I said
Omit
omit.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Also
we omit
keep that out.
possibly. I mean, obviously, any personal stuff.
Okay. So no other names, I'm assuming. No Pata, no Ara, no Daiki.
No.
No.
Absolutely
No
not.
Mox. Okay.
Why do I
Alright.
mention Mox?
Well,
When we
yeah, he
teleport.
mentioned Fox.
You mentioned Mox, but you don't mention your personal relations.
Yes, not
Yeah.
other stuff
Okay.
aside from that. Just we worked
Okay.
for him.
All right. Rancor, Evadin, anything to add
But I can't think of anything.
or omit, I should ask.
I said just omitting basically any personal
Okay.
type of deals. Nothing about Athena Claremore, nothing about where I'm from, even if they can figure it out. Nothing about that stuff at all.
Very well. Well, thank you all for your cooperation. It's much appreciated. I do have one final question, each of you, but this one I will ask you all.
Huh?
I will ask you the following question privately.
Okay.
And each of you are led out of the room to wait in another room, as one by one you are brought in as a document is slid across the table. It has a very familiar image to all of you, a blue moon crescent and some stars. And we'll start with Paloma.
Oh God.
Do you recognize this symbol?
Okay. Whenever Altrix was telling the story, did he mention the?
I'm going to assume none of it got mentioned.
No.
I will tell you, I would not have mentioned a blue moon symbol. I would have said we went to investigate a crashed airship in Pickle Pines.
Okay.
So no mention of it.
Okay. If he didn't mention it,
Uh,
then I will say no.
sorry.
Okay. I need you to make a deception check.
Okay. is a 4.
Okay.
Well, roll insight. You gotta see if they roll a 3.
Um.
I
I'm fairly certain they have a higher than.
Yeah. Didn't have to
Could
roll
be
that
that
well.
one.
Insight.
Could be
didn't
a
have to
nat
roll that
1.
Yeah, it wasn't.
Hey.
Nods at your answer. Will, if you do, please let us know.
Why?
Sizik.
Yeah.
You were ushered out of the room.
God damn it.
Another question.
They're so bad.
Sizik, you are brought in to sit
Yeah.
down. Same document. Do you recognize this symbol?
That blue moon, that's the one that is being used for Bright Shadow, right?
No. It
No.
is the.
No.
I mean, there could be a connection. You haven't. You don't know. But this is the blue moon you found at Tony's house. Or Tony's hut on the map. Also on the side of the airship.
Yeah.
Yes. And the one that crashed in Pickle Pines. Therefore connected to your mother and Paloma's mother.
I will answer best as I can if you answer a question for me.
We'll see. Do you recognize the symbol or not?
I was just going to ask what you know about symbol.
Answer me.
I don't know much, but I've seen it on crashed airship in forest.
Interesting. If you get any further reports, please let us know.
Can I know what it is or what you all know about it?
We believe they've been compromised. Now please exit the
Who
room.
are they?
And you are ushered out of the room.
Wait, no.
Shoved out in the hallway. Rancor, you are brought in. Cast a spell, because unaware that you have glasses that would allow you to transmit this, or Ozen. Cast a spell to allow you to envision the room around you without having to have actual eyes. Do you recognize the symbol?
Has he seen it previously?
Maybe not.
Technically, no. So, no, I see that you're doing some weird magic thing to let me see, but that only applies now, not in the past. So, no.
Do you have any connection to this symbol?
Like personal connection?
Answer the question.
To my knowledge, no.
Make a deception check.
Is it?
You have information about it and are
You
not
said-
sharing it.
Information
you
or
said, do I have a
connection?
connection.
That's different.
That's
Yeah,
two
a
different-
connection.
That's separate.
Information and connection are two different things.
Not to them. Make a
Not
deception
to
check.
Mason either, apparently.
It's okay. Just roll a nat 20.
Where's my deception? I can't see.
It's okay. They haven't caught on yet. They know nothing.
I know nothing.
Yeah, they
Nothing at all.
totally know nothing.
That's the 17.
17. Well, should you acquire any information about it, please let us know. And Evadin, you are brought into the room. Rancor.
Mm-hmm.
Do you recognize the symbol?
Why should I answer your questions?
Because if you do not, the outcome will be far worse. I don't like making threats, but don't put it down.
No.
Make a deception check. So interesting. How many people lie?
I'm not lying. I wasn't lying. You said to have a connection.
It's an investigation.
I am going to. Well, I am so glad I'm so glad I'm a rogue. Oh, I feel like it'd be so much fun to use the plus here. What Rancor got a 17, right?
Yes. Though Evan would not know that.
I know. Evadin wouldn't know that. It's more. It is okay. So I'm wondering if I want to put the inspiration on it to like add
That is up
to
to
it.
you. But you cannot
Do it.
base that knowledge off anybody else.
Do it, no balls.
You know what? I'm not gonna. I never gonna. I always forget about it, so I'm gonna use it up while I can.
Okay.
That is going to be a dirty 20.
Well, should you acquire any information about it, please let us know. And then Owen. Or Altrix, not Owens. Owens, the man, is brought into the room. Altrix, you are brought in as Evadin.
Owens is the man.
Do you recognize this?
Looking down, is this symbol drawn or stamped?
It is drawn. Good question.
Okay. Yes.
And what do you know about it?
That I haven't quite decided whether they're a friend or a foe.
Neither have we. If you get any further information about it, please let us know. We believe they've been compromised.
What does that mean?
You're free to go.
What?
And all of you are brought back into the chamber you first arrived in, and are jettisoned out of wherever this place is, and come tumbling back into the core souk, landing in the central oasis of Pajakin. And that is a good place to end our episode for this evening.
Dicks.
Thank you all for joining us. We really appreciate you and this wild ride that we call it a journey. But we'll see you next week. And as a reminder, the adventure continues. Have a good night.
Bye-bye.